Let's send that data over to Facebook, over to Twitter, over to YouTube,
over the moon, to the moon,
to the moon, baby. Cameron Grimes.
The moon.
He's lost it, folks. He's officially lost his gourd. His entire gourd has been.
It took one. Somehow I've lost, and the show just started. Oh boy.
Yeah, who could have guessed?
I don't know. I'm not talking about bad wrestling this week, am I?
Well, you're talking. We may be talking about Impact Hard to Go.
And we're gonna be down since day one ish, so it could be bad. It's gonna be good.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Yeah. Cut that.
1 second. I gotta mute myself real. I'm back.
For Christmas, I had to return it and get a new one, but I got one of those like cough blockers, where it's a little button where when you press it, you can mute yourself.
Oh, nice.
I had to get a new one because the other one doesn't work with phantom power, so I had to get a whole new thing. But I can't wait to just hit a button and do exactly what you're doing. I gotta tweet this out real quick and then we'll start the show. Radio. Okay, let's start the show. Ready? 3, 2. Everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio. This bonus edition, we're coming at you live on a Friday morn. Typically, we're on Sunday, but we could not end the year of 2020 without bothering you one last time. So welcome, everybody, to Ring Post Radio. Hope you're doing good. I am Ryan Neitzey, and as always, I'm joined by Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing? How was your Christmas?
Like, Christmas was great. Might be sick. It's okay. But
yeah,
my main thought here is: did our theme song get longer?
I don't think so. I haven't. So I haven't adjusted it.
So I've been sitting here after listening, and I'm like, that felt long. But anyways, back to the question you asked me. I'm doing well. Christmas was great. Happy to see family. Might have gotten sick from it, but what's there to say? How was yours?
Mine was pretty good. I went home for Christmas, which home is Maryland for me. Went to both see my family, my mom, my dad, and then my Jesse's family as well, which was good. Don't have any symptoms or sickness or anything. I also have not. I haven't tested it since I got back, so that's, I don't know. That could be fine. A lot of sickness obviously going around. A lot of COVID, a lot of flu symptoms, all that jazz. That stomach bug that's sweeping the nation as well. We luckily for us, like the family that we would have seen tested positive before they interacted with anybody. So we were like, oh, yeah. Great. You're out of here. So we don't have to worry about interacting with them and get sick that way. Because luckily, we all got tested beforehand, so it was better.
The way that sounds, it was like, yeah, thankfully they didn't have to see them.
Yeah, thankfully they didn't have to see them. But no, it was good.
That's what they tested for before, though.
Yeah, we had to, because it was also like, going on the plane and then going to see like a bunch of different families, bunch of different pods, and there was gonna be young kids there too on Jesse's side. So our good graces, we had to make sure we were tested, make sure coming in fine.
Cherubs.
Yeah, but I'm sad you're sick. Hopefully you can make it through.
You're excited
show.
I'm sick?
I'm sad you're sick.
Oh. I was like, wow, thanks.
I can't wait to see you sick. It's a phantom thread kind of situation where because you're sick, you have to rely on me, and that makes me feel great.
See, I might be sick, but I'm built different. I'm here. I'm recording a podcast. My third in 3 days. Actually, not in 3 days, in like 36 hours.
Yeah.
So
despite being sick, it feels like you've gone harder at the paint than ever.
Yeah. I mean, we go hard in the paint. That's me dribbling a basketball. You're welcome. I don't know.
Work on that form.
I feel great. I'm ready to go. This is a big show. This is potentially our biggest show of the year in terms of events that we're talking about, because we got the events of the year. Well,
WWE Day 1, Impact, Hard to Kill. That's what you're talking about, right?
No, not at all.
We got.
I mean, Day One's got a good card. Does it happen though? That's a good question.
We'll get to all that too. But we're also gonna be talking about Wrestle Kingdom, of course. Preview those 3 shows. Which the show, I think everything's come out. Yeah, everything has come out.
There was 3 shows.
3 shows. And then we're also gonna be talking about Stardom, Dream,
and
Queendom.
Battle of the Belts / TBS debut for
yes,
AEW.
Yes, which I found out last night that both Mikey and Zach will be attending the TBS debut.
That's exciting.
Yeah, apparently Zach got it through a Secret Santa situation. So I'm super jealous, and I want to be that Secret Santa next year.
I didn't get anything that good. Come on now.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, speaking of anything, did you get anything great? Anything exciting? What was the best present you received for Christmas?
Probably the monitor that I'm looking at right now.
Can you show it to us? Is there anyone?
Oh yeah. Here it is.
It exists.
I also have a green screen that, as you can tell, I didn't put up because
no kayfabe.
Forgot.
It's up right now.
Forgot I had it until we started this at 10, so 24 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But it'll be up. It'll be up for the special episode on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday when we do the year-end awards and our match of the year, not match of the year, our match race
review,
which I'm sure will be a close one.
Guys, Ryan got wrecked.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that on Sunday. But of course, we're here. Bonus episode on Friday. It's December 31st. New Year's is upon us tomorrow. And we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We wanted to do this because we had a bunch of stuff to talk about, of course. We weren't going to be able to talk about it all on Sunday. So we want to do a special episode for you all. So hopefully you all appreciate it. If you like what you hear, of course, you can subscribe to the show wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Found out during the Christmas break that you can start leaving 5-star reviews on Spotify. So not only on Apple Podcast, if you'd like to do that as well on Spotify, we would appreciate it.
I hear Dave Meltzer actually gave our podcast 6 stars.
Really?
Yeah.
That is it's a long-standing bit. When I was doing Hit the Books of Mikey, a long-standing bit we did was telling people that we were filming in the Tokyo Dome, so they had to give us 6 stars.
Nice. I love that. I got name dropped on Observer Radio this week.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that feel? How do you feel being a big
weird.
time guy?
I was like, whoa, I'm doing something right. I mean, it was about Stardom, so it wasn't like out of this world. Like, it was just not as random, but
you're making a name in the Stardom world in terms of America, I guess.
Well, Stardom World's an actual subscription-based service that... Oh, sorry.
Maybe eventually you'll be the Stardom color commentator that they desperately need.
Oh, yeah, that they often switch. I don't listen to the English commentary for these reasons, but I heard Waka admit that she couldn't do the dance, so that's something.
That's a scoop. That's a scoop right there. That's a scoop and a half.
It's not a scoop. You literally just had to listen to the. She was like, I can't do the dance.
Well, let's get to it. Obviously, we were off last week because of Christmas, and we are back. So there's a decent amount of news to get to, but Scotty, what are just some bits that you want to talk about here that are like news items that have happened since we last recorded?
feel like Toni Storm's a good place to start.
I agree. Good place to start. Earlier this week, Toni Storm, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that Toni Storm is not released, is gone, is the quote there, is gone from WWE. The tricklings of reports that came after that is apparently after a house show, she just up and left. And she was like, I quit. Can I go? And they're like, sure. And then she left. And that was that, apparently. Just kind of, it feels out of nowhere, just because of that sort of up and leaving feels like a rarity in WWE. But this also comes after recently feeling weird, sitting around and catering, not really doing anything, but then also saying that she likes what she does. That interview coming out earlier this week as well. So Toni Storm gone from WWE. Scotty, thoughts on that, and also thoughts of where she might go.
I'd quit too if I had to wrestle Charlotte. Let me tell you, I think Charlotte's so bad nowadays. She's actual trash, and having to lose to her so many times and get a pie thrown in my face, yeah, that would be the limit for me too. Toni Storm should have been a main event star in WWE. I feel she and Rhea Ripley should have been set, done, instantaneously, main eventers from the start.
I'll throw Bianca in there as well.
Bianca, yeah, I've already put in my head she is a main eventer, and because they haven't failed with her, thankfully, thank God. So I'm gonna put these two in a
fair
nice
enough.
little package and throw them back at you. Toni Storm should have been at the top from the moment she was called up, and instead, like many others, she got put into catering because they didn't know what to do with her. Don't know how you fail to do something with Toni Storm while you continuously put the likes up. You know what? I'm not going to say names. Dana Brooke. I'm not going to say names, but she is very good. And when I say very good, I mean, I don't ever want to see her be World of Stardom champion again, but she's good. And I think she instantly becomes the biggest women's free agent on the market because of what she's done, because of the name value she has, and the fact that she is 26 years old and still has her entire career ahead of her. Instantly, AEW. That is the place I would like her to go, because she becomes what I think would be their franchise player in the women's division, because she can be that good for them. And people love her, so it just instantly feels that way. I've seen some people say Impact,
which
please.
But to be fair, the connection there is the Juice thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, which you want to talk about people that have kind of just burned out. I mean, Juice hasn't been Juice in a long time, if that makes sense. There was a time where you'd watch a Juice Robinson match and you'd be like, this guy is so good, and you listen to his promo and you'd be like, okay, he can make something of this. And of course, I think the pandemic has hurt him a lot in that growth to a he was going places in New Japan. But Impact makes sense if she wants to, even if she just wants to dip in there for a little bit. I don't necessarily see it as a full-time thing. And who's to say she doesn't want to go back to Stardom? I'm gonna have to just say it out loud. I don't want it because I don't think they need her. And I think she's just better off in the American setting in terms of wrestling. But I mean, AEW would be my pick. I think that's a layup, especially after what we saw this week of they brought in Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez isn't a long-term answer in the women's division. No offense to her or anything. Toni Storm is a star. Toni Storm can be a AEW Women's World Champion in the next year, and no one would bat an eye.
Yeah, Mercedes Martinez is someone that is, I completely agree with what you're saying. And Mercedes Martinez is someone that has a lot of experience, and this is a good spot for her, being that sort of the someone that can also train the women there. You know, Mercedes is 41, so you're right. It's not a long term aspect. Toni Storm being 26, I mean, she is like barely in the prime of her career. She's got plenty with it. No, yeah, it's weird. The weirdest part about the Toni Storm story is not that she wanted to leave, because as we are seeing, I think there's an argument that many people in that company want to leave. But the fact that she just was like out of the blue being like, I want to get out. Can I go? And they're like, yeah, go for it. Sure. And that response is unheard of. And I think not the frustration there is that one, I don't know, the frustration really is that goes to show to me what WWE thought of Toni Storm. You know, look at Brody Lee when they're like, oh, we're going to keep you for months. Look at Pac, we're going to keep you for months. Granted, this is rumors of AEW and all that stuff. But they're at the point where they're already cutting massive amounts of people, and they have someone in Toni Storm. They're just like, yeah, sure, who cares? They're not allegedly, apparently, there is no fight to keep her. They're just like, oh yeah, go for it.
I did see, I forget who sourced this, that there was a source backstage that said WWE feels if they're releasing people due to budget cuts, they really can't say no to someone that wants out, which is fair. It's very
well. The logic would dictate that.
Yeah, I mean, if Roman Reigns says I want out, I don't think they're gonna just be like, okay, see ya, have a good one. If Sasha Banks wants out, which she did in the past, they're not gonna be like, all right, see ya, have a good ride.
Yeah,
like that's never gonna happen, you know. And I say Sasha specifically because we've seen her have that moment. We've seen her talk about it in multiple interviews of she wanted to leave. She wanted to just be refreshed, and she would have went to Japan and it would have been amazing. But yeah, they clearly didn't see the value in Toni Storm. They're just like, yeah, it's fine. They didn't say go home, rest, and then come back.
No,
which is something they say. They didn't say that. They said, all right, see ya.
Yeah, they just said, see you later, alligator, and that was it.
That's a plus for someone else, though.
And that's a plus for someone else. Toni Storm is someone you can build a promotion around of. You know, it's that young age, you know, it has plenty of experience, has television experience for years, you know, can easily do it. And it does feel frustrating for WWE because it seems like Toni Storm was someone that they were kind of pushing as a future, at least with NXT. And then the pandemic happened and that slowed her down. And then when she came to NXT proper, she wasn't really treated, I would say, correctly, especially with how they were sort of treating her prior to the pandemic. And then main roster just got worse and worse. But I do want to talk about that AEW aspect of bringing people over. Tony Khan stated recently that they're still going to bring in people, but now they're going to have to be a bit more selective on who they bring in. And there was that list going around of all of the free agents available. And I just want to get your thoughts about, like, you know, Toni Storm, I think is an easy pickup. But I'm looking at the list here of Toni Storm, Ember Moon, Tegan Nox, Taya Valkyrie, Mia Yim, Trisha Dora, Roxy, Willow, Scarlett. Like, you know, that is a laundry list of women that they are not going to bring in everybody. And I'm looking at this like before, like, just this is my thought. Before, I would thought that Ember Moon would be an easy pickup. But now I'm looking at this and be like, I actually don't know if Ember Moon is an easy pickup anymore. I think Ember Moon is someone that you might skip and pick up someone else.
I think, so I looked at the list too, and I was trying to think, like, what makes the most sense for the AEW women's division right now and moving forward. Because you add a veteran like Mercedes Martinez, and that kind of hurts certain others. And don't get me wrong, the women's division certainly could use every single name on this list, and they would, if you added 3 of these people, you look at the division and be like, wow, like, what a change from a year ago. It would be great. But if I'm AEW, I still don't understand how they haven't done this. You go get Roxy. Like, she's the youngest of all of them, and she instantly can be built behind. We saw it in Ring of Honor. She can handle it. And what is she, 20 years old? 21?
20 years old.
Yeah, like you see that and you're like, okay, you put her on your brand, you give her some showcase matches here and there. And you can make her an underdog if you want to from the start. And I know she's Ring of Honor World Champion, but not every AEW fan knows that. So to me, she makes a lot of sense. You look at Tegan Nox, they probably are going to wait on that one because of her knee injuries. I could see her doing work outside of WWE first and then them coming back around, like showing she's healthy, showing she can go. I think that's fair because of how many problems she had. Ember Moon, Athena, whatever we want to call her, she is a very interesting case because in the ring, she might be the best out of all of them. In the ring, when healthy, she could be the best. Her matches with Asuka, for anyone that wants to go back and see a great Ember Moon match, those are great. And Toni Storm is also in that conversation. I think if you told me those two were the best, I would be like, yeah. She's an interesting case because I could see her wanting to kind of rebuild herself.
Yeah.
Which I don't think was as much of a gimmick in NXT as it was probably how she felt. And I don't necessarily see her being instant, but she would be a good pickup. She'd be like a Ruby Soho pickup.
Yeah.
And but Toni Storm, I feel like, once those 90 days are up and she's, we saw that she left because of burnout. If she's not burned out anymore and she's feeling good, that your phone should be calling her that the day the 90 days are up.
Yes. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm looking at the list here, and this goes for the men as well, is that they're not going to be able to bring in every single guy.
They have to bring in Keith Lee. I will actually commit crimes if they don't.
I agree. I think Keith Lee and Shane Strickland are you have to pick in. You have to pick ups. And then you bring in Keith Lee, and then there's the question of, then do you follow up with Mia Yim as well? I think Toni Storm is the immediate pickup as well. Ember Moon is like you said, I agree. When Ember Moon was healthy versus Asuka, she was outstanding. But even then, that conversation was 5 years old. That's 5 years ago, and after an Achilles injury. She is not the same wrestler as she used to be. And that's no fault on Ember Moon. She's still really good. I'm just thinking, now that the free agency has been flooded with this talent, before it was an obvious pickup. Now I'm concerned with her. I'm concerned with Tegan Nox. Taya Valkyrie, I'm not sure about Taya Valkyrie either. And then you even get the people that are in the indies. I mean, Mercedes Martinez, they picked up indie legend. They already got looks from her being the Joker many years ago, and obviously she now has more TV experience than before, so that's good. But then all these other indie talents that don't really have a lot of TV experience, but have some, like Trisha Dora, Roxy, Willow, have some indie experience from Ring of Honor and stuff. And even then, it's like, I don't know why they would probably be quote unquote cheaper. But is that something you want to pick up when you can just get Toni Storm and have someone solid versus?
Well, here's a good example of people they've passed up on Masha Slamovich, which you look at this list of people and you think about it. In the ring, she's at the top of all of these. At least I think so. I think I agree, fantastic and one of the best. Well, she's not an indie wrestler anymore, full time, I guess, because she signed with Impact. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
I think she's great, and they passed on her. They've passed on Roxy clearly because if they wanted her, she would be there right now.
I believe I remember reading somewhere that they were interested in Roxy, and then she went to Ring of Honor.
Well, now's the time.
And also now, apparently, WWE is interested in Roxy as well. So,
as they should be. 20 years old, very talented already, and you can build. AEW loves their pillar talk. She can be one of your women's division pillars. long term, because that's what the pillars are for. They're for the long term.
Yeah.
I think Mia Yim probably has just as good a chance as anyone besides maybe Toni Storm of signing with AEW, now that I think about it, because I mean she hasn't wrestled like really at all for like
Didn't
2
wrestle
years.
didn't wrestle all of 2021.
Yeah, and she's very good as well. And I think she actually would fit AEW really well. And if they bring in Keith Lee, it just feels like an automatic combo you bring in, because they're both very good. And I just really want Keith Lee at AEW. So
yeah, they pass up people, and also
they
to be
do.
fair, they don't
release people, but I know they won't, but they should. I'm gonna be honest.
And well, there's also that aspect to AEW as well, is that they are getting to the point now where they're starting to not renew contracts. So you don't renew some contracts, let contracts run out, and bring in these new people. You have a whole new division.
Yeah, I guess they don't have to release; they can just do that, because I think we're getting to the point where those first contracts signed are expiring.
Yeah,
so
it's already started, at least with Big Swole. Speaking about AEW picking up new people, one thing that I want to talk about is in between us and us going on break, Kyle O'Reilly pops up in AEW, signs of the company, already had a match with Undisputed Era, trios match on Dynamite. Thoughts on Kyle O'Reilly joining AEW?
Oh, thank God. I'm so happy. Like, Kyle O'Reilly is a very, very good wrestler. And I had to spend the past couple months watching him just, wilt away. After it's crazy, because at the beginning of 2021, he was on this fast track to being an NXT champion. He was going to become NXT champion. And halfway through the year, they said, yeah, we're gonna change NXT.
Yeah.
And well, not halfway, later than half, but you know what I mean. And it completely derailed what was going to be Kyle O'Reilly getting this great moment. That Adam Cole feud that he had was built to get him there. He won the feud.
I guess also assuming he renewed. He would have renewed at that point.
And he also had that great match with Finn beginning of the year. Actually, it was at the end of last year. That's how long ago this is, but which was a great takeover match. He got to really show how good he was. And I think people kind of forgot that Kyle O'Reilly can be one of the best wrestlers. I mean, if you look at his New Japan stuff, you look at his tag team stuff, this dude is fantastic. And I know, like, he's not a big promo guy. He doesn't need to be a big promo guy. And we're gonna get Bryan Danielson versus Kyle O'Reilly down the line. We're gonna get Kyle O'Reilly versus Eddie Kingston. I don't know why, that just feels like it's gonna be really good. We're gonna get Kyle O'Reilly against a lot of people, and I'm just happy.
CM Punk versus Fish, O'Reilly, and Cole. All three of those matches.
Who says no? Well, we already saw the Fish one, but
that's true. Well, there's two others then.
Yeah, I prefer the other two anyway. So, but I'm happy Red Dragon's back too. That's a great tag team to add to that division. Instantly one of the best. I wouldn't be shocked if they changed plans and had them win tag titles sooner rather than later, because that's kind of what they do. They kind of join companies and they're like instantly top tag team.
Yeah,
so.
you establish them as a top tag team off the bat. I mean, I guess we'll see upcoming with the TBS debut. Feels like maybe a title change is on the horizon, but we'll see there.
I also like the story they were telling with the Young Bucks Undisputed situation. It's a very easy story to tell with no Kenny around. And if you can somehow stretch it out till when Kenny comes back, which sounds impossible because I have no idea when that is, you get that trios match on a pay-per-view. Undisputed versus the Elite.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no one has any clue what all of his injuries were, and then what all of Kenny's surgery and time. I think he's already been off like a month and a half or something.
Yeah,
I think I was remember after the pay-per-view. What was that, November? Right.
Yeah, time adds up quick.
Yeah, so about a month and a half already. So presumably a little bit while. They can stretch it out, but they're gonna have to do a lot of stretching. but it's long term, so you can easily do that. And also that distracts the Young Bucks and Red Dragon from the title scene, and Adam Cole from the title scene. It distracts all these people while you can do all the title pictures of everybody else. I like Kyle O'Reilly in the company. I agree that it's, for me, it is very interesting of like, if, NXT 2.0, I think, was inevitable because it was in part because NXT quote unquote lost the Wednesday Night Wars. So
they got wrecked.
Yeah, because of that, NXT 2.0 was going to happen, or some version of it.
Yeah.
But if NXT was able, like, we talk about like the pebble and like the ripples of the ocean or whatever, like the pebble is like them losing. If they were able to at least win, or conversely, maintain a better audience and not convert into an NXT 2.0 situation, I wonder how many of these people, would have stayed. I mean, literally, we are ending the TNT era of AEW with the faction that was the rival faction in the rival promotion on your television under your contracts.
Yeah, they were the main event of the last TNT Dynamite.
And let me see if I can look up real quick the first NXT head to head with AEW.
It was I think it was Adam Cole versus Riddle for the NXT Championship.
God, that feels like a lifetime ago. I gotta see if I can look. I'll probably look into that later. But yeah, just this idea of like, bringing in this entire faction and having them run wild and having them have great matches, and of course Tony Khan is gonna love having that faction in there. But yeah, it's Kyle O'Reilly is an easy pickup, and we obviously, like, we had the same conversation. There are other people that they're planning to bring in. Brody King is allegedly already in the company. I think everyone thinks Keith Lee and Shane Strickland are easy picks to bring into the company. On top of that, if he wants to, you bring in Johnny Gargano.
It was, by the way, Cole versus Matt Riddle.
Was Fish O'Reilly doing anything on that show?
Yeah, they actually did main event. They won the wait a minute. No, they successfully defended the NXT tag team titles against the Street Profits.
Against the Street Profits, wow.
And Shayna Baszler successfully defended the NXT Women's title against Candice LeRae.
Yeah, no, what a century ago that feels like. And what was does it say what the first AEW was? I believe the first AEW, the main event there was the Elite, Omega and the Bucks versus Jericho and Santana and Ortiz.
That sounds right. Let me double check for you.
But anyways, very good. You bring in those guys. You bring in all these other people. You can bring in Gargano. Obviously, I think you can eventually maybe get a play for Candice LeRae.
It was, by the way.
What else was on that card?
It was Michael Nakazawa was on it.
Great, perfect.
So that's
Cody versus Sammy.
Oh, Jake Hager debuted.
Where's Jake Hager? Where's he? He's got a
Cody versus Sammy Guevara.
Mm-hmm.
MJF defeated Brandon Cutler. Wow, this was bad.
This was the DC show. I think that also goes to show my the memory, at least of me, or maybe most audiences, is that I can remember exactly where the first AEW show was. I can remember two of the 5 matches.
I was at the second show when Inner Circle became a thing, which is cool. Pac defeated Hangman Page, which was a pretty good match. But Riho won the AEW Women's Championship.
Versus Nyla. Which was a great show. I can remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
The NXT, I cannot remember a single thing.
Telling.
And also what is telling to me is how different NXT has changed in these couple of years. Saying like, oh, it's Riddle versus Cole for the title, Baszler versus LeRae, Fish and O'Reilly versus Street Profits. What a different promotion. And to be fair, yeah, NXT is meant to be the developmental brand, right? But wow.
I went to last taping, like group taping of NXT ever, before they switched to being live for head to head with AEW. And the show ended with O'Reilly and Fish winning the tag titles and Undisputed Era standing tall at the end of the show, which just furthers how insane it is that AEW Dynamite, the last one of 2021, ended with them standing tall, but this time with the Young Bucks. It's just a crazy time, and we have to probably get into all the stuff we have to cover. So I'm gonna stop talking about. But we missed a lot. Also, Cody won the TNT Championship.
Yes, he did. Cody also won. There was a lot of stuff that happened. TNT Championship. Cody wins that.
He also released a shirt that says, and I quote, "Heel, babyface, winner."
Cody has this thing where I feel like Cody's current heel work is borderline cringe. I think that's what he's going for.
He has to be, right? Like that's the gimmick.
I don't know anymore. Well, let's move on. Let's move on from news items, and specifically AEW news. Really, I guess there's other news items we'll get to when we talk about other shows. But let us talk about and review the first topic here for us today: Stardom Dream Queendom. Stardom had their big end of the year show. Actually, I believe it was the first. If I'm not mistaken, this was the first Dream Queendom show, right?
It is. Yeah, I think it should be their annual show.
I agree. I think it's a good spot for. Stardom has already obviously annual shows, but I think having some sort of like big WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom-esque show, I think that's a good
They have
spot
no
for that.
annual live show, which is interesting. They have annual tape shows that are at Cork and Hall.
And annual tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, but they don't have annual live shows, and I think this would definitely be a good show. Like, you end the year, because a lot of Japanese companies begin the year with big shows. You can be the first, and you can end the year with a big show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was a very good show. Attendance was the big news point that came out of here. Attendance of 3,000 folks and Ryogoku. Scotty, you want to speak?
They beat Dragon Gate.
I was about to say, they were the second biggest attendance or something in Japan?
Yeah, I think so, since the pandemic or this past year. I forget the exact stat, but I know they beat Dragon Gate, which is very big. Very big.
Some would say major.
Yeah. I would. That's for damn sure. Actually, no. Just for this year's awards, I would not. So I can vote for multiple things. But next year,
tomorrow, I will say major.
Yeah.
No, that's. I think having this kind of like big of an attendance number, especially for the pandemic. It is pandemic, so it's not like ginormous. But I think having. To me, that shows that this show is a success. Obviously, we're not going to know like the streaming numbers or anything until maybe way later, unless they're unless they're super big. And Stardom was like, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
But I think that this was based on attendance alone, a hit show. And let's talk about it. See if the matches were a hit as well. We'll very quickly start off with the pre-show 5-way match. Fukigen Death defeats Lady C, Rina, Saki Kashima, and Waka Tsukiyama. Scotty, any thoughts?
Wait, no. I have zero. I have negative thoughts. I have none. Zero. Zip. Move on.
My only thought on the matter is I like that Fukigen Death got the win because I felt that I enjoyed Fukigen Death.
I was going to say, guys, Ryan's a Fukigen Death stan.
I didn't say stan. I said I enjoy their work.
And it's okay to admit because that's Fukigen Death.
Yeah, I'm going to change my profile to just Fukigen Death. Saying
you're gonna find some graphic art that can give you the Fukigen Death face paint the entire time we talk.
I'm gonna have a Snapchat filter, and I'm just gonna do the show saying death over and over again.
And you'll just sit there like this the whole time.
Moving on. Future of Stardom title match. Hannon defeats Hanan, whatever.
I get it wrong every time I say it. I think it's Hanan.
Hanan defeats Ruaka to win the Future of Stardom title. I was actually quite surprised with Hanan winning here. I didn't expect her to win. Obviously, this is her first championship ever at the age of 17. I did not expect her to win this, but she did it. So.
Well, Ryan, Hanan is the future ace of Stardom. I don't know if you knew this, but she is the future ace of Stardom. And this was the big moment that they had been preparing for a couple of years because, I repeat, Hanan is the future ace of Stardom. She had a really, I thought, you're asking two very young wrestlers to go into Ryogoku Sumo Hall and kick off a show that is one of the biggest in Stardom history.
Yeah.
I thought they did pretty good for what they were asked to do. And I mean, Hanan was doing new moves. The spinning kick that she did, brand new. She did a famouser, and then she hit Ruaka with the back suplex for the win.
Looked hard hitting that back suplex.
Oh yeah,
that landing. Yeah. I was like, oh boy.
It wasn't. No, yeah,
it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
No, but
it was effective.
But the moment that they had, after the match, and it was clearly this big moment that you're supposed to remember in the journey of Hanan. They hug after, and then Ruaka stays in character by pushing her away, and then Stars comes out and celebrates with her. That is a big moment moving forward. Usually Future of Stardom title matches aren't that big of a deal, but this is one of those times where I think it was supposed to be, and I think they did really good at that. It's hard for a match that's in Ryogoku Sumo Hall not to feel like a big deal for them, but I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, I didn't expect it because I don't know. I just didn't see a lot of Hanan this year for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, she was out a few times.
Yeah, actually. So I assume for COVID and whatnot.
I think school. I think
good
for
point.
one.
Good point.
And then she got hurt. I think a couple times.
So she's going back to school with a title belt around her waist, and she's just like, "Hey, how's it going?"
I don't know because I know her sister Hina is the only one between the three sisters that actually left to go to school. Like those two were like, nah. Yeah. And also, Hanan is the oldest, so she's a year away from being done. I think I have no idea how it works. I don't know. She's a year younger than Azumi.
Oh yeah, Jesus. God. Stardom young and Stardom young.
Azumi's a seasoned vet, so it's a little unfair. I mean, she's been wrestling for like 6 years.
Which is also weird to say.
Well, yes, because I just said she was 18, so yeah.
No, actually, she's 19. I just looked it up. She's
19. She just turned 19, I think. Maybe?
That doesn't say her age. Or not her age, but her birthday. Anyways, moving on. Artists of Stardom title match. Himeka, Maika, and Natsupoi defended those titles and retained them against the Cosmic Angels, Mai Sakurai, Mina Shirakawa, and Unagi Sayaka. Good match. Another good match. I think it was pretty solid.
There's nothing to talk about from this match except for the ending where Maika hit all three Cosmic Angels with the Michinoku driver and just pinned Mai. That was the end. She was just like, oh yeah, all right, you're done. Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh? Yeah. Oh, okay.
It felt like this was the confirmation following what was that, Osaka Super Wars, that they're together as a unit. There's a confirmation of that, and this is what it looks like when they're together as a unit. But then it also felt like with that finish, it was like Maika. It was like, yeah, we're looking at Maika now a little bit. Maika's so good.
Yeah, she is.
What a year for Maika.
A fantastic year for Maika. Seeing that she going into this year, I don't think anyone thought she was like, this fantastic wrestler yet, and she just kind of blossomed very quickly. I mean, they put her into a World of Stardom title match at the 10th year anniversary show.
Mm-hmm.
She shined there. And then I feel like every opportunity she got, she shined. And her and Saya Kamatani, I think, really did that together. It, like they, they're not in the same group, but they both got big opportunities multiple times, and they got better and better each time, which is a tough thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, but I think another solid match here for the show here. Moving right along, high speed title match. Starlight Kid defends her title against Azumi and Kagama. Starlight Kid, of course, got the win here. I thought this was a very good match. I did have like that thing when I'm watching high speed titles where it was like it's high speed title matches and then also like lucha sometimes where it's just like the fact that they're moving really fast and everything is like
Breaks your brain.
it breaks my brain and thinking of like, wait, okay, hold on. Was this good or was it just that I liked seeing them go super fast?
That happens.
That happens. What happens? I thought Starlight. I think this to me. I thought Starlight Kid looked the best in this match.
Yeah.
This Starlight Kid heel turn. I think is just outstanding for her. I think she was good before, but I think there's this newfound confidence that she has that she is really, and we talked about it with the summer tournament.
5-star.
5-star. We talked about it this 5-star where it felt like Starlight Kid was like trying to figure it out and come into her own. It felt like she is completely in her own. She knows what she's doing and she's just killing it.
Yeah, the heel turn somehow made her feel like 3 years away from the top titles to now. If she won it in 2022, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like,
yeah,
that's how it feels. That's how like much she's just grown as a character. And I mean, her wrestling's, it was very good before the turn, but she gets it. It's like, everything she does just feels important. Like you said, she looked the best in this match out of the three. Clearly they're saving her versus Zumi. That's a big singles match, which we've seen many times. But
tease at the end of the match for that.
It's bigger now because of the story with Momo. Starlight Kid's a heel now. It's a lot different from the past few times. So that's clearly the match they're going with. And having to take notes on this match like I did for my other podcast was impossible. So we can move on.
You got to get the plug in there, Scotty.
Yeah, it's the 5-star Joshi podcast on Fight Game Media Network plus Patreon.
We're a pro plug network.
That's fair.
All around. I thought Starlight Kid was very good. I don't have like, and I get that these are sort of pithier takes, and we're gonna get to the meatier takes maybe later. But I just think that I agree. I think I don't necessarily know if next year, but I could see maybe 2 years her winning Starlight Kid getting the Wonder of Stardom title.
That's that's fair.
I
think she's a wonder champion. That's what she feels.
I don't see. Despite all of the praise I'm giving Starlight Kid right now, I don't see her as a World of Stardom title holder. But I can see her, holding. I think her peak right now is now Wonder of Stardom. But I think before this heel turn, I would say her peak is probably the high speed title.
I mean, I got ballsy and called her a lot of what she's doing now and like her full heel character is very Io Shirai-esque, which is probably gonna get me shot. But she's small like Io Shirai. She has an absurd confidence about her.
Are you talking like NXT heel Io Shirai?
No, actually.
Or are you talking Joshi?
It's actually more. It's a little bit of both, actually, because the Io Shirai and NXT, the heel characters that she had was, you could see a little comparison there. But her time in Stardom, I mean, Io Shirai is like, Stardom royalty.
Yeah.
It just, you bring up Io Shirai and Stardom, people like get mad. In a good way. Like if you say anything bad about her, people get mad. And I don't say anything bad about her. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of comparisons there, and I think she can work her way to a World of Stardom title run. I think that's definitely she'll have to take another step, and maybe that's just when she removes her mask, which she wants to do. Like maybe that'll give her a whole new feeling, because being able to do facial expressions goes a long way in being a wrestler. And I applaud her for doing what she's doing with a mask on.
Yeah.
But Wonder's Stardom title feels right now, and the interesting about the Wonder and World is that they're both kind of on the same level. I mean, the World always main events, almost always.
Yeah.
But it's not a mid-card title. It's just its own being. And I think that's why if she never won the World, it'd be okay, because she's very fit for the Wonder. But we'll see. We'll see. Now I have to get emotional. All right, let's go.
Singles match, Julia defeating Konami. That's just the singles match. Julia comes out. Julia returns from injury with a whole new do that I really love. I love it.
Yeah, I'll give you all the background behind this.
Please.
Okay. So Konami, of course, has her entrance. She's wearing the Tokyo Cyber Squad gear, which, if anyone doesn't know, Tokyo Cyber Squad was the faction led by Hana Kimura, and this entire match, pretty much the whole basis behind it, was both of their relationships with Hana Kimura.
I want to speak real quickly. Is that was that her? I was trying to recognize it. Was that her Tokyo Cyber Squad gear, or was that new gear?
It looked, it's hers. I mean,
yeah,
it might have had to be new, because she's lost like a ton of. She's gotten really thin because of her, the stomach problems she had. So I'm guessing it's her old gear. I don't think, but she might have had new gear made for. But it looks similar to all of her.
That's besides
gear. But anyways,
the point. Yeah,
wearing the TCS colors, instantly I was like, oh, okay, this is more emotional than I thought. And then Julia comes out rocking the braid that Hana Kimura won when she won the 5-star Grand Prix. Very similar braid. And then she has the never end flag signed by the entire Stardom roster draped around her. And she also just had an eye patch, because for some reason she's a pirate too. But that's okay, because Julia's just really cool. And then, they both pointed to the sky, and I was like, okay, so this match isn't about Konami. This match is about Hana, and this is, this is starting to get me. And they did multiple moves in the match that were reminiscent of Hana's. Konami put on the hydrangea, which is her, which was Hana's submission, and then Julia hit the Tiger Lily package pile driver, which was also Hana's. Very good moments. They both, again, pointed to the sky multiple times.
Very emotional.
And we also saw the Konami that I think a lot of people missed in this match.
I certainly did. I've enjoyed some of the stuff she's done, but I really started falling in love with Konami during the TC. God, TC. I was gonna say TCG, but I think that's the network for 30 Rock. TCS. The TCS time. I was really enjoying her work there in Tokyo Cyber Squad. And I was glad to see her sort of return to form.
She had the fire that she had. And the Oedo Tai character made her pretty much not have that fire. Like, that's the whole point of their vibe and whatnot.
But I think that's what Konami is great at. She is great at having that fire, and having that taken away from her is sort of
So I talked to someone after this match, and we're like, this isn't a match you rate on a scale. This was just this is one that, on Hana Kimura's birthday, you just go back and watch and be like, look at this. Look at this beautiful match that these two had, celebrating Konami's potential final match. Felt like it could be her last match ever. And if it is, incredible send off. 2, they just, they started off the match just like Julia and Hana did when they wrestled there one time, which is a match I will recommend till the day I die. It's just fantastic. And really, the best version of Julia is anytime Hana Kimura inspires her.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yeah. Because she fights with this rage and fire that Hana wrestled with. And we've only seen it so few times. And I said to someone yesterday, I tweeted out, somehow, some way, Hana Kimura brings the best version of Julia out, even when she's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've seen Julia have better matches than this. But the fire and they just were great together all around.
Yeah, very emotional match. It's for obvious.
It didn't matter who won.
Yes. Yeah,
but we knew who was winning. But
yeah, you knew I think that's also true. Is that knowing that Konami was leaving after this, quote unquote leaving.
Yeah.
After this, that you already know who's gonna win, but it wasn't by making this a tribute match. It wasn't about who was going to win. It was about how or all that sort of stuff. Very emotional match. It's really goes to show how much Hana meant to the Stardom roster. I mean, not even how much she meant to the Stardom roster, but how much the loss of Hana has affected this. I mean, we're still, unsurprisingly, I'm not going to say that this is a bad thing. I'm saying we're a year and a half out from Hana's passing, and it's just it is still, people are having, I think I would argue, based on just what I've seen online and stuff, that people are still struggling with that, and I don't blame anybody. I mean, these are people you worked with, people that you're best friends with. Jungle is still gone. Konami, I imagine this is part of why she's leaving. There's still like I said, that pebble in the river, these effects we're still having them. I'm glad that in a weird way Julia is keeping that torch going.
Yeah.
I say that, but now she is a leader of a faction with people wearing Momo masks.
It's
I had to break the emotional tension somehow.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say is that I don't think the memory of Hana Kimura will ever be going away, and that's great, because the more wrestlers do this, and the more they kind of remember her in their matches, but also just the light she created for Stardom as a whole, and really wrestling as a whole. It won't be forgotten. But we'll move on, because I don't want to be emotional anymore. We can just talk about the tag match real quick and then get to the two meaty matches.
Yes. Tag team match: Mayu Iwatani and Takumi Iroha defeating the team of Izuki and Momo Watanabe. Right off the bat, obviously we weren't able to preview start. I don't believe we
didn't.
Dream Queendom. But right off the bat, I like the pairing of Hazuki and Momo here, just because of the former Oedo Tai member Hazuki, now sort of gone good, teaming up with the former Queen's Quest Momo Watanabe, now gone more dark. I was bad is not the word, because Queen's Quest has sort of that sort of tweener vibe a little bit, but gone evil. Momo Watanabe. I thought that was a good pairing, and of course Mayu and Iroha there. Scotty, what do you think of this match?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't the match of the night. It wasn't the tag team match of the year. There was no stakes, but it was a lot of fun, and it gave a chance for Momo to further her character. It gave maybe Momo and Hazuki at one point worked together, which was shocking. That was fun. It also gave Mayu and Takumi their shot to team together, which, if you notice, they smiled the entire time. They were having so much fun. And if you can see wrestlers having fun, it's easy for us to have fun watching. But I thought the Momo turn on Hazuki, which was inevitable, because Momo said she'd rather kill Hazuki than team with her before she even became part of a Oedo Tai. So it wasn't shocking once it happened.
Now she's at the point where she might do it.
My favorite part is that Mayu, the leader of Stars, with Hazuki, and Takumi just said, "Oh, She turned on her. All right, let's destroy her now. They both hit their finishers, and the Hazuki loses. But it's a good way to keep Hazuki strong as well in defeat, which is always a smart decision.
Mm-hmm.
Momo is, mean and left, and then the other two. And if you watch the post match where Mayu just stumbled over everything and broke Ryogoku Sumo Hall, where she somehow knocked off a panel on the entrance ramp, and I was like, how did you do that?
How did that happen? How did you even only Mayu? That's like such a Mayu sort of ism. That's just like only you. Only
she somehow manages to do it all the time.
And then Tagumi selling it like, I don't know, come on, no, we're all good here. And then just, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Come on, let's roll.
They need to stay together forever.
Yeah. I
they're
think
very funny.
If I obviously, we thought maybe that there could have been that Kairi Hojo spot somewhere. But if they're not doing that for a while or never going to do that, just have Mayu and Takumi team up, and maybe they can go on and challenge for the tag titles.
Hell yeah! I mean, we already have a pirate now because Julia's pirate, but that's
that's fine.
It was worth thinking.
Last time I checked, there were multiple pirates in the world, so you can have multiple pirates in a promotion.
Wait a minute, there's pirates.
Yeah. Wonder of Stardom title match. Saya Kamitani defeating Tam Nakano. Nakano's reign comes to an end here. If I were to bet money, I would not take the bet, because I think Stardom was very easily building up Saya all year long to have this spot, have this title change. Getting the win here I thought was good, and also a great fucking match.
Yeah, it was. Best match of Saya Kamitani's career. Best match of Tam Nakano's reign since she won the title.
Mm-hmm.
Winning the title, that the match with Julia is different. That's a different being. I mean, hair versus hair. It's hard to top that. But they, instead of went down the usual Tam Nakano title match road of this is very emotional and slap and whatnot, they went down a road that I feel like is going to be the Saya Kamitani title reign, which is just a lot of great action, a lot of great moments, a lot of great moves, and just oozing confidence. That's what Saya Kamitani was doing this entire match. This is the most confident I've ever seen her in a match. Like when she did the Hurricanrana to Tam off the apron and then looked in the camera and goes, like, points at herself. I was like, what is this? Where is this Saya coming from? Great match, and of course the Phoenix Splash to end it. That is that one move in Stardom that should never and will never get kicked out of, because no one else can come close to doing a Phoenix Splash. Well, I don't know, maybe they can, but it's hers. Yeah. And she does it great every time. Long time coming, and I think it was the right move to uncrown Tam.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to do that. Kamitani is just very, very strong. I think all year long she's sort of proved her worth, proved her spot in this company. And I like you said, I am glad that this match was a sort of Kamitani freaking sprint, I guess would be the best word. That sort of like that kind of like just going at each other constantly. Less story beats. Let's just go out and have a match. That's awesome. This match certainly was awesome. To me, not the match of the night, but very much close. Very much close match of the night.
Yeah, that's agreeable. It was going to be hard to have a match of the night.
Yeah,
but I thought the fact that we were even saying it was close, bravo to them.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited. I sort of, we talked about it before, is that I think Nakano's first reign here was, I think it was fine. I think it was okay to, not necessarily what I necessarily always wanted. I thought the Mayu stuff kind of got fumbled there a little bit at the end.
We don't talk about that.
And and we talked about it before during the Grand Prix. that Nakano sometimes has okay matches.
Yeah.
But I am super excited to see what Kamitani can do. I'm
Mm.
super excited to see what her 2022 is going to look like. And I'm super excited to kick that off with Wrestle Kingdom. I believe.
Yes, which Saya Kamatani is on.
Mhm.
As is Tam, actually. But let's get to the main event.
Let's get to the main event. World of Stardom title match, along with the SWA Undisputed World Women's title match. No time limit, of course. It was, in fact, Shuri winning the 5-star Grand Prix, going on to defend that briefcase multiple times, and eventually winning the World of Stardom title, finally against Utami Hayashishita. Utami's reign is over. Shuri is now the World of Stardom champion. Scotty, I'll give you the floor.
Very, very well deserved. I don't think anyone has earned a title reign in a single year alone than Shuri. The work she put in this year is some of the best work I've seen in a year long. And really, she had a great first half, but from that first Utami Shuri match on, she just didn't stop.
No.
And I had convinced myself she wasn't going to win this, mostly because I think I just didn't want to be let down, but also they were telling a story with Utami of she wants to beat the Io Shirai record, and felt like they might go for that.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't, and I'm very happy about that they did it. I love Utami, don't get me wrong. I would have been happy either way, but this felt like the perfect ending. They New Japanned it up with this match. This was a very New Japan style main event. You have the early build, feeling each other out, hitting each other a bit, and then you
knowing
just kick it
they're gonna go long.
Yeah, and they didn't go as long as I think a lot of people feared. They only went 37 minutes.
I thought they were gonna go over an hour.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go stupid long, and it was gonna ruin the match. But they kept it under 40, and they told the story really well. Utami just could not find something to put Shuri away, and when Shuri wasn't finding something to put Utami away, she brought out the one-winged Ryuin, as I'm calling it, because it was cool. Or you could just call it I don't know, something else. Mm-hmm. But she gets her up in the electric chair and brings her straight down, driving her back first. It was great finish. It was a New Japan, I'm not kidding. It was a New Japan main event. It's very different from their first match, even, which is an accomplishment by them, because with all the pressure in the world that they're facing, this is the most hyped Stardom match of all time. No, going into it, most hyped ever. No doubt about it, because of that first one. Everyone was talking about it. Tom Lawler was talking about it. He said he rewatched it the morning of. That's how much he loved it. Dave Meltzer was hyping it up throughout the week and saying, here's the link, check it out.
Chris Dickinson,
which is big for Stardom, that you're getting. Yes, Dickinson, Daniel Garcia, there are relatively solid names here in these states that were really trying to hype up this match, especially. And with all the pressure, Ryogoku Sumo Hall, they knocked it out of the park. And I think having Shuri win was the perfect move to you want to keep people invested that are the new people tuning in. Now you changed it up. Now it's not Utami. Now it's Shuri moving forward, and that's just exciting to think about in itself. And we have 2 new champions for Stardom heading into 2022, which is really cool, because 2022 is going to be their most important year to date.
Yeah, I really enjoy this match. I didn't enjoy it as much as their first match, but I really like this match as well. I really enjoyed Shuri's all around limb work. She started the match I'm going all these leg drops, right? All these leg lariat sort of moves. I'm just going to continue go after the head, the neck. Then I'm mixing it up, going for a double wrist lock. What was it? Off the top rope, sort of.
Oh yeah, she did the Kushida hoverboard
hoverboard lock
off
thing.
The top rope.
Yeah,
I always call it the Kushida thing.
The Kushida. That looked beautiful. And then she started going for figure fours right after that. So she was just like working the entire body. And it felt for a long time that like kind of what you said, that Utami couldn't find something. She like just kept trying, and she had some things, using some sleeper holds and whatnot, but just couldn't really find something where it felt like before the story was always that Utami had this endurance engine in her, but now it's more so that like she was just completely worn down. And if you're gonna wear down Utami, it's just out endurance her obviously, but just work every body part and just continuously go after her. Try to beat her in early rounds, because if they went 90, maybe Utami would have pulled something out. But the fact that it's like I'm just gonna not let up on you for 30 minutes, I thought it was very good, and I'm glad Shuri got it. I think you're building this promotion. I think arguably, I think this title match easily sold those tickets. I think Shuri maybe potentially winning it was good. And Utami, she's probably going to return to the title scene obviously eventually, but now we have the sort of Momo story that we can go down as well. The Queen's Quest versus Oedo Tai story there. So she's going to have a high profile story matchup there as well. Shuri has a bunch of defenses down the line as well. Obviously, we're going to have an Utami rematch at some point. We're probably going to have a Nakano match, I guess, also at this point. A Momo match. Julia's a great question there, but
Julia will happen. And I think, with DDM going up to 7 group members now, that definitely could be the match that leads to a
split. What is currently DDM going up to 7.
Yeah, that's true. I want to give a shout out to Shuri for the punishment she also took. I mean, Tommy got plenty of limb work to her and broken down, like you're saying, but Shuri took an air raid crash to the floor, and I just the last time they had this match, they did it on the apron. I was like, that's what I expected. No. They went straight down to the floor. I was like,
God damn.
What are we doing? I mean, she was in the UFC, so she could pretty much take anything. But that, and then she also got caught, when she went for like a soccer kick from the apron, she got caught by Tommy, just power bombed to the floor. I was like,
yeah, and it just didn't hold on to her. It was just like, I'm just gonna quickly grab you and throw you to the ground.
Yeah, there was no hesitation of like, okay, you can wait on this. No, you just have to accept it. But yeah, great match, great moment, perfect moment to complete Stardom's home run of a year.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is like a great moment for that situation. I think I think it was just an outstanding year for Stardom. I am very excited to see what their 2022 is going to look like. I don't know what it will look like, but
it's gonna be hard to top this year. But there's an easy answer, and it's just let Mayu do more. I'm just saying. I mean, Mayu versus Shuri is a guaranteed match because Mayu is one of the only people to beat Shuri, like in her 2-year run. Shuri doesn't lose. Like, she doesn't lose. It's very rare.
Speaking of not losing, now Shuri is a three champion holder, right?
Yeah, she has the SWA, which will probably be retired if I had to guess.
Should be at this point.
Yeah, the Goddess of Stardom with Julia. People definitely forget she has those, so she has to defend those. And of course, World of Stardom. I think you start doing the tag team matches on like Cork and Hall shows more, because you got to try to find room for Shuri to defend all these titles. And I'm sure she's gonna lose the Goddesses soon, because FWC is kind of just chilling, and they'll probably just take them so that you can have tag team title matches on your pay-per-views again. But I mean, they're running Ryogoku Sumo Hall back-to-back days in March, so I have no idea what they're going to do for those 2 days, but we'll see.
We'll find out, certainly. That is Stardom. I'm excited. I'm excited about 2022 for Stardom. I think they have an outstanding year on their
Are you
horizon.
also excited for day one ish?
Yeah, baby. Tomorrow, WWE Day 1 in Atlanta, Georgia, State Farm Arena. Whoo, boy.
Ryan's going, people.
I'm going to be there live in person.
He's going to give a live podcast from the show.
Yeah, I'm going to live stream myself on Twitch.
During the main event, he's just going to be like,
hey, everybody, it's me. It's my boy Roman Reigns, day 1. Let's get a quick vibe check on WWE Day 1, Scotty. How are you feeling about this show?
It's actually like one of the best cards they put together since fans came back, or really since like the beginning of 2020.
There's a pretty good card. There's a match here or there where I'm like,
yeah,
sure?
Well, that's a WWE show. I mean, they're doing Madcap Moss in a pay-per-view match, so like you're like, oh. But you got two great world title matches.
Mm-hmm.
You have a potential huge moment for Liv Morgan. And you have two great tag title matches. Actually, they're really good tag title matches. Mm-hmm. Which when it comes to WWE, there's no guarantee you're getting a good tag title match. So take that and run with it. The other two matches, we don't have to talk about those.
Yeah, my hype with this show has been like, I'm like conflicted about the show because it is, at the end of the day, it is WWE.
Sure is.
As much a card can look good. There's a difference between being on paper and in actuality. And we've learned that as watching WWE for years. But I say this all where there are reports coming out that this is the big boss Nick Khan's idea to have this show. It is.
Oh yeah.
There are reports saying that they want this show to be part of the Big Five. They want this show to be up there with WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series.
It's not Survivor Series anymore. They count Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, really? They took away Survivor Series?
Money in the Bank's in a stadium this year.
Oh, you're right. Anyways, well, they want to bring day 1 into that echelon, right? So you not only the show has to be really good,
mm-hmm.
right? But then the people in the show, especially Vince McMahon as well. Vince McMahon has a lot of control and everything, but like Nick Khan is the guy asking for this. He is. Vince and him are the big bosses, but you got to make sure that this show is good, or Nick Khan is gonna fire half the roster. Allegedly, who knows? But this show has to be good, and that is part of my intrigue about seeing it live. Is it has to be good. The situation that is currently ahead of us, however, is, will the card be the same by the time the show arrives? Right?
Yeah. A little worrisome.
So earlier this week, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Big E, and Bianca Belair all get pulled from a house show. Seth Rollins reveals that he is positive with COVID. So one would presume that either the other 3 are positive or they are just quarantining out of safety, especially Becky Lynch because she lives with the man. CDC changed it to a 5-day quarantine. So I believe the 5th day is today. So assuming they can pass with, I believe, 2 negative tests, they can work the show.
Yeah.
However,
I don't know when he got positive though.
I don't know, but I believe they announced it on Monday. So if he did, assuming he got positive on Sunday.
WWE definitely didn't announce it. Seth Rollins did.
Well, what WWE did announce was that they are no longer going to be doing COVID testing. So even if he was quarantining for these 5 days and he tests 2 negative times, WWE is not doing those testing. That's going to be on Seth Rollins to make sure that he's healthy enough to go to work. Um, coincidence? Who knows? I haven't spoken to anybody in the company, but coincidence maybe that the same day that this news comes out, the WWE is also going to announce that they are no longer testing their talent.
Yeah.
Not only is unsafe for the talent, but incredibly bad PR. I don't know why you would do that. After winning that award last year, that bullshit award last year.
I don't know. COVID aside, because we've had to say that for 2 years now. COVID aside,
yeah,
I think for the most part the show will be okay. I think maybe the only thing we have to worry about is Becky and Seth, because it sounds like they were also trying to protect top talent. Now, Bianca's not on the card. So
correct.
she believably could have had it. They very much could have been trying to protect Big E. I wouldn't be shocked on that one. Maybe he was a close contact.
Yeah,
that's also possible.
The 2 big title matches, you want to protect that as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you're in trouble with the women's title match if Becky got it, from Seth, which I don't know how she wouldn't have, seeing that they probably sleep in the same bed together. I'm just saying.
Scandalous, Scotty.
Well, I think they're married officially. So I mean, is it?
I don't think they are.
I think they had a private wedding or something. I remember like them being. I don't know. I don't care. I could care less, honestly. But let's talk about the show.
Yes, I only bring up the COVID stuff because there is the potential that some of these
we might
matches
preview a show that doesn't actually happen. So.
Well, the show
it's happening.
The show
we might preview a card that's gonna be like in shambles.
There might be some changes on that card.
There might be no WWE title there, but yeah, sure.
We'll find out. I guess I'll find out live and I'll report live.
Yeah, because they aren't gonna tell you ahead of time. That's for damn sure.
That's for damn sure.
The kickoff match is actually better than like other matches.
Well, let's talk about the kickoff. Obviously, there might be some more matches added to this entire show from Friday Night SmackDown when that happens. But right now, as of Friday morning, we're looking at the day 1 kickoff being Cesaro and Ricochet teaming up to face Sheamus and Ridge Holland. I believe, is this his... no, it's not. I was going to say, is this his official debut? And it's like, no, his official debut has already been in a battle royal for the Universal title. So this would be his 4th match in the main roster scene for Ridge Holland.
For the Ridge.
What I think has potential to be a pretty good kickoff match.
I mean, yeah, you got 3 guys that are really good at wrestling. You got Ridge Holland, who I think can be good. I mean, from what I've seen, he's not bad.
Yeah,
he's not going to ruin it.
Yeah.
I like the new Sheamus we've gotten since he returned, because he just beats people up, and what's so bad about that? And Cesaro's great, and Ricochet. They like to put him out there and do some crazy shit nowadays on SmackDown. Like that's his new thing. Like, oh
yeah,
we're on Fox. Here's what you can see. You can see the one guy that can do all this stuff, do this stuff once in a while.
Yeah. Ricochet needs to be like the new Rey Mysterio for the company. Be able to, by that I mean like do a bunch of crazy high flying stuff. Maybe also like Ricochet needs to be like a Jeff Hardy Mysterio hybrid thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Ridge should win. That would make the most. You can have him pin Cesaro. No offense to Cesaro fans, but you can have him pin Cesaro. I think truthfully we're at the point where you probably want to build Ricochet more than Cesaro right now, because after Brock you're going to have to fill a couple pay-per-views. I'm not saying you should do Ricochet versus Roman, but who the hell else are you supposed to do? Like, there's not that many people on the roster to fill in. Jeff Hardy's gone. That was one. You're not doing Drew. You're not going to just put Drew in a random match against Roman. I mean, you could do Sheamus versus Roman, which would probably be pretty good, but he's a heel. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Unless Brock just wins, that which I doubt, which would make no sense to me. But you never know.
Well, we'll see. I guess there's 3 shows presumably. We got Royal Rumble after this. We have presumably Elimination Chamber and presumably Fastlane. They aren't announced yet, but
I don't know if I think Fastlane's dead.
What is the other show? Roadblock?
I think they got rid of it.
Roadblock End of the Line?
I think they finally realized they don't need 2 pay-per-views in the middle of Royal Rumble and WrestleMania.
Thank God. Yeah, well, either way, they got some time in
I don't
between.
watch Raw and SmackDown anymore, so like my update is whatever they post on Twitter, which is pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So I know the stories at hand. I just
Yeah, we'll see how much, if this show goes well, maybe we'll continue to review WWE. But we'll see.
If it sucks, we'll see you at the Rumble because I love the Rumble.
Yeah,
I'm always a sucker for the Rumble. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I agree. So let's talk about day one proper. And of course, we're gonna start off with the hit match, singles match on this card, and cage match: Edge versus The Miz. This is a heated rivalry. Edge interrupting the Miz's and Maurice's, Miz and Mrs., if you will, vow renewal. And then brood bath.
I haven't paid attention to this feud. I have no idea what's going on. This is all news to me, actually. I can't believe they're wasting an Edge match on the Miz.
Miz, this is the thing about the Miz in WWE canon. He is like a main eventer guy. Sometimes. He was WWE champion last year, technically.
Yeah, people forget that.
But Miz is somebody that like is already going to go into the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Like he retires the next year, he'll go into the Hall of Fame. You know, he is like their guy, and he is, you know, you've gone through a lot of the Edge matches already. This is also the Edge quote unquote return match, right? After the Raw.
Have you though? Have you really went through all of them? I feel like he faced Randy Orton 17 times. He faced Seth Rollins 16 times.
Let's talk about this. We got Randy Orton. We got. Let's look at his goddamn.
He hasn't faced AJ. He hasn't faced Kevin Owens.
He did at a house show.
Yeah, I actually read that match was pretty good, which isn't shocking because you know Kevin's Kevin.
We got Edge. We got going against Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, Randy Orton. Jey Uso or
Daniel Bryan?
Some dude, some nerd who likes trees. Jey Uso, Randy Orton, and then you know Rumble appearances where he.
All right, so what you did was prove my point that there's plenty left. I mean, the two big names of like new people that he wrestled are Seth and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Frank Daniel Bryan was pretty cool too. But you know, looking at the rest of the roster, AJ, Kevin. I mean, one of those are probably his WrestleMania match.
Yeah, it really
has to be.
You thinking you put Edge in the world title match at WrestleMania? Kevin Owens wins the world title?
Well, if Kevin Owens wins the world title, you could, but I don't know if they do that again. I think AJ is definitely very possible because
I don't know
that's
about
a match
that.
He wants.
I don't know about that because AJ is apparently a babyface now versus a face Edge.
I mean, if you wanted to turn Edge heel, no one would get upset. That's when Edge is at his best. And we saw that last year, actually, in the Daniel Bryan thing. Like, he was much more interesting as a heel doing his, Shakespearean monologues.
That might be true. But he's going to be facing The Miz here tonight. Like I said, I'm looking at more as the tune-up return match.
That's fair for WrestleMania season.
That's how I'm looking at it. I'm expecting The Miz to win. We're gonna have a little feud before we get to the Royal
please,
Rumble.
God, no! Please stop.
No. Hear me out. This match is gonna end with The Miz winning. Maurice is gonna get involved, and then while Maurice is getting involved, someone's gonna make the save after the match or during. And it's gonna be Beth Phoenix, and the Royal Rumble match will be Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice.
I hate how right you probably are. I'm just going to pick Edge for the sake of I want it to end, but you're probably right.
Drew McIntyre will be facing Madcap Moss. I don't know where Baron Corbin is. I guess he's just kicking it. But Drew McIntyre will be facing Madcap Moss.
Who's Baron Corbin?
Sorry.
I only know of Happy Corbin.
Oh yeah, he's currently
Happy Corbin makes me very depressed, Scott.
My favorite thing that they've done to Baron Corbin is realize that Baron was a title, and they're like, well, we can change him to King. And then what happens when he loses his crown? Well, he'll be sad. He'll be sad Corbin.
Sad Corbin's peak Corbin, besides Lone Wolf Corbin.
Sad Corbin is the funniest thing to me. I think that was just sad. Like, there's something.
Drew McIntyre wins. LOL. Move on.
I'm gonna say I got 10 more minutes of dialogue here.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
We gotta get to the Kingdom. Not Matt Taven.
I was about to say, you're talking Matt Taven, Mike Bennett. They're gonna run in SmackDown Tag Team Title match. It's gonna be the Usos, Jimmy and Jay Uso, defending against King Woods and Kofi Kingston. The Kingdom.
Must I say that this is going to, as the kids say, slap.
Yeah, this is one of those the pay-per-view selling matches, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just, that's a pretty good match. They've been doing a lot of, the concern I have is the in-match storytelling of dialogue and all that stuff. I don't want to hear any of that. I just want to see straight up tag team action. These 4 guys are really good. They've had an amazing feud in the past. I think they could have a really good match here.
I just remembered another show we have to talk about.
What's that?
New Year's Evil.
Well, looks like we won't be. We haven't even talked about Wrestle Kingdom. We're an hour.
No, hard to Kill's dead. We're not talking about it. Okay, we're not talking about it. It's dead. Goodbye. We're not talking about Moose. Okay, gone. We'll talk about NXT for like 2 seconds because I think there's only like 2 matches. And Walter's back, so we're talking about Walter.
Maybe we'll preview the shows when we do the Sunday show if we have the time.
Yeah, we'll see when we get there.
That sounds like you are going to do everything in your power to elongate the episode.
Listen. The people are missing us. The streets are missing us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The streets are missing the
banter.
Never mind. I was going to say something bad.
Saying something that we referenced before the show?
Oh, no. It should be worse.
I think this would be a good match. Raw Tag Team Title match. RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle taking on the team of the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford.
This could be a good match as well. Could be. Potential Montez Ford frog splash into an RKO. Anyway.
Whoo, baby. I'm loving that.
That would be a super RKO. Because he gets up there.
Is Randy Orton turning on Riddle? They teased
eventually. That's probably the WrestleMania match.
They did a joke tease.
It's got to be the WrestleMania match.
Yeah, it is an easy WrestleMania match, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, Riddle has to turn on Orton.
That's what I'm hoping.
I feel like that's just got to be. That's just
a little swerve ski.
Well, they got cut. Raw Women's title match. Becky Lynch defending her title, COVID allowing, against Liv Morgan. Becky Lynch. Could this be Liv Morgan's victory? Will Liv Morgan be the star that everyone claims she is? Or will Becky Lynch beat another upcoming star in 10 seconds?
I say a little swerve ski, and he goes, well, he got cut. Oh, brutal. I think Liv Morgan should win. I think it's her time.
the pause. you putting together what has happened.
He's just flat out was like, yeah, they're fucking released. You know what happened? They went down hit row and they got fucking released. Oh my god.
I want nothing to do with the man anymore. Isaiah Scott. I'm still friends with Top Dollar, but professionally we're done. I want nothing to do with the man.
Oh. Okay, Liv Morgan. Yeah, I think she should win. I think she should have her moment. It's a moment they're very heavily trying to build towards. And if they have her lose, it's another situation where WWE fails their own women's division. And it wouldn't be shocking if they did that because 4 horsewomen win, LOL. But I think Becky has really built it to the point where Liv should win. Of course, if this match happens, but I think it should. I think Liv Morgan should win, even if she has the title for a month. Just get the moment out of the way, and then you can build to, probably Becky versus Bianca again or something. Because I honestly don't think Liv Morgan holds the title till WrestleMania if she wins.
I'm gonna do what I always do when I'm previewing WWE pay-per-views
and say you don't care.
But no, I'm going to say I'm going to look towards the future because that's certainly cemented at this point. Seeing that it's January 1st, we're going to cement our storylines to get us ready for WrestleMania. I think Becky Lynch is going to retain. So that, and if she wins, then maybe they'll do a repeat match at Royal Rumble and give Liv Morgan a cup of tea with the title and have Becky Lynch win the title back. But I think at the end of Royal Rumble, Becky Lynch is still going to have the title.
That's fair.
And then Bayley returns.
There ain't no stopping us now. We celebrate on the floor. I had that ready to go.
Bayley returns to the Royal Rumble and she challenges Becky Lynch.
I would be an emotional mess because I miss Bayley so much. Bayley was the best part of WWE all of 2020. Don't at me. Bayley is great. And I miss Bayley, and I now hope she wins the Royal Rumble. Thanks, Ryan. That should be the WrestleMania match, though.
Yeah, and I think,
even though I just said 4 horsewomen, LOL.
Well, I agree. That's why I'm thinking that. Is I think in the WrestleMania match can easily be Bayley versus Becky Lynch. I'm assuming that Bayley is cleared to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be both WrestleMania matches. It's gonna be Charlotte and Sasha, and then Bayley versus Becky makes plenty of sense.
Yeah. There's also a possibility that Becky Lynch can't make this match, in which case Liv Morgan will have to face somebody, and maybe she'll face like Flair. She doesn't have a match here, or like maybe Bianca Belair comes out, kind of like the SummerSlam spot, and gets her heat back and destroys Liv Morgan in the process. I don't know.
Jesus, you just made Bianca heel in like 0.5 seconds.
Oh, and then you can do Bianca versus Liv, and then that can be like a number 1 contender thing or something. I don't know. Anyways, at Royal Rumble,
just admit it, you don't care.
WWE title match, fatal 4-way. Big E defending his title against 3 other men: Bobby Lashley, who defeated all 3 of these men in one night; Kevin Owens, who has just signed a new contract worth $2 to $3 million, and Seth Rollins.
Per year, by the way. I figured that out.
Per year, and Seth Rollins, who may or may not make this pay-per-view.
This match is going to be really, really great. Like, I have a lot of confidence because WWE does a lot of things bad. They do a lot of things bad.
No.
But they do fatal 4-ways and triple threats on pay-per-views incredibly well. And I think that's not credit to them. I think that's credit to the wrestlers that are in these matches. And I would say all 4 of them, really good. I think you have, potential crazy power spots with Bobby and Big E. You have Kevin probably doing something nuts. You have Seth, who plays the really good heel wrestler. I mean, his character can be fucking annoying, but he's really good at the heel stuff in the actual matches. I don't see how this match is bad. I really don't. Unless like Bobby wins, LOL. Like they just haven't. Actually, no, that'd be sick if you just speared all 3 of them at once. That'd be actually awesome. That'd be amazing. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. But who wins?
I don't think it's gonna be Bobby because
I don't think it's gonna be Big E.
I don't think it's Big E. I am going to go with I am in the Kevin Owens camp. I think Kevin Owens is going to win this title. I don't think it's Bobby Lashley because he's beaten all three of these guys in one
Yeah.
night. So we have to 50-50 that nonsense.
They're also baby facing him.
They're also baby facing him. Kevin Owens is heel, so you can eventually have the world title match at WrestleMania be Bobby Lashley versus Owens. That's something.
I would say no.
Seth Rollins, again, there's a
He's my pick, actually.
There's potential if he's not there, then Owens. If he's there,
yeah,
I still think Owens, but who knows?
I want Owens to win. That is my preference.
Yeah, I think now is the best time to have Owens win the title, and then go into WrestleMania with the title.
He deserves that spot. He's done.
If you're giving the man $2 to $3 million a year contract, throw in a title his way. I mean, why not?
Yeah, we get to say a lot of shit about the way WWE treats most of their workers and most of NXT call-ups. Kevin Owens remains that one.
Yeah. That
not only was a great call-up, but the dude beat John Cena night one of his first match ever. He hasn't been a champion in a long time, but his first couple of years, he almost always had a title.
Yeah.
And I think it's time we get a title back on him because that's when he's at his best.
I agree. And if you're
that being said, I picked Seth Rollins to win.
The drip, baby. Anyways, this also, whoever wrote Cage Match here also just wrote WWE title. The Universal title match here is going to be Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. The rumor mill, the reports are saying that this is a match that is meant to set up the eventual WrestleMania match.
Don't we all love that?
Or at least the first match of whatever series.
What the frick was Crown Jewel?
Who?
Yeah, clearly. I read that they were doing their best to make sure Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman make it to this show. Like, that was their number one goal, which I'm not shocked that that's who they cared about most. But it's interesting. You know, Roman fired Paul, and Brock is Brock. I mean, if they let them wrestle, it can be a really fun physical match. But when you say this is all with intentions of setting up a rematch, I'm instantly like, okay, so what's the bullshit?
Yeah.
What's the bullshit that's happening? I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on. Are
they gonna just do a double turn? Because that would be absurd.
Well, I think the turning aspect is hinging on
Paul E. Dangerously.
Exactly right. I think the turning aspect is on him because either you got Paul Heyman stays with Roman and Roman wins, right? Paul Heyman chooses Brock and Brock wins. Or like either Roman's retaining and then they're going to have to figure out a way to continue the story for another couple of months, for 3-4 months until WrestleMania, in which case Brock would eventually win the title supposedly there. At some point, Brock is winning Brock is either winning the title tonight or he's winning at WrestleMania.
They're so stupid.
Well, but think about it. Either Brock is winning the title tonight, and then Roman.
I believe you.
Roman can win the title at WrestleMania.
I just think how stupid it is that you make this title reign with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that
is unbeatable, unstoppable, and you're going to give the win to a part timer. That's WWE at its finest. But like, I understand there's not many options to give a big win to.
Well, it's not many options because they shot themselves.
They released them all.
Released them all.
Drew would be a fine choice. You could give him that moment that he didn't get, in front of the crowd, and I think he somehow, some way, people are reacting to him again, which is shocking. Seeing he has done nothing, but I feel like Drew would have been a fine one if you wanted to heat him up again. I mean, they've shot themselves in the foot. So honestly, Brock does make sense to beat him at this point. I can't be like, well, you can make a big star out of Ricochet. No, you can't. Like, that's not happening.
In 3 months, you have to build up someone that can defeat Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
the only other person they could pick realistically is Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to build up, I don't know, Zayn. You're not going to be able to build up Ricochet. You're not going to be able to build up Sheamus. You got to be, unless you're doing a super long title reign with Roman.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do anything unless you want to do like a cool Royal Rumble victory against Roman. But I don't suspect that's going to happen. I think that
sweet. Sorry.
That's also true. Roman can win here, and then it might be Brock winning the Royal Rumble.
That's what I still think's happening. I think that he's going to win the Rumble.
Yeah. But I think it also all hinges on Paulie dangerously.
All right, let's move on for day one. I'm done talking about WWE. This has been a long time. Like, I think almost our entire podcast has been WWE because we had Toni Storm. Oh yeah, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
We had Down Since Day One-ish.
We had
Stardom.
We have a Swerve Ski.
Oh, that was so funny.
Let's move on to Wrestle Kingdom, Tokyo Dome, Tuesday, January 4th. To close out our show here today, we got a bunch of whoopsie.
And 5th.
I did something accidentally on the stream. My fault.
And 8th.
And yeah, we got 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom nonsense.
All right, before we start the cards,
sure.
I want to ask you.
Sure.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
For many fans that enjoy professional wrestling more than just, WWE.
Of course.
This is like the big event. This is that WrestleMania of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
What is your excitement level going into the show?
My vibe check.
Because I think they have better cards this year than they did last year overall.
I think my vibe check is like a 6.
Interesting.
I think there's some stuff in here and I'm excited for it and everything. But it's not like it's must see in the sense of I want to watch it to keep up, and also it's Tokyo Dome and it's Wrestle Kingdom, like the name value, right? Yeah. But New Japan has been so for the past year or 2 years really that it's just it's hard to get excited. There are things on here that I'm excited about. So if you're excited about this card, maybe get me excited. Let's
okay.
Get
I'll be the ultimate hype man coming through.
Get us through. Get us into the show.
The hype man is here.
Wrestle Kingdom Tokyo Dome, January 4th. We're starting off opening match. The New Japan Rambo. Final 4.
I can't hype this up.
I enjoy the Rambo. I think the Rambo is kind of fun. I don't necessarily like how they're doing the new thing about Final 4 to advance to KOPW 4-way. Of course, your KOPW 2 years in a row was Toru Yano.
KOPW can die as far as that's stupid. I hate it.
It is literally just a way to give Yano a bunch of different ways to do comedy by having gimmick matches. That's all that is.
I do know him and Kanemaru like excessively drank their last match. So
yes, that is true. I don't know who's going to be in it. I would love if Yano is not in it. I would love if Yano's number 1 has to make his way all the way to the Rambo. That'd be fun. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Who cares?
That'd be a good idea.
First match, special single match, Yo versus Sho.
Listen, I'm hyped for Sho versus Yo. Other people might not be. I don't really care. There's
a cat joining us. I just heard and felt a bunch of stuff in my
I was
back.
ready for a big time leap coming. That's what I was waiting for us, and we didn't get the leap. Anyways, Yo versus Sho versus Yo, Roppongi 3K coming at ya. I think the story here is that whoever wins has a great shot of winning the junior heavyweight title first. I think that's very, very possible. And I think the story that they've been telling is that Show is starting to realize that Yo actually doesn't need him.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see, some desperation in this match. We're going to see probably some House of Torture heat. But if they can
definitely going to see heat.
If they can keep that down to
a minimum,
a minimum, it can be a great match because Show and Yo are very good. I'm a big supporter of the man they call Yo. I would support Show a little more if he didn't try to ruin that Best of the Super Junior Finals match, but I'm still mad at him for that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think this would be a good opener to Wrestle Kingdom.
I agree. I think it's a solid opener. I am. Did that wobble?
No, you're good.
I think it's my microphone. This microphone.
Yeah.
I need to get a new headset. Oh my God.
I think you need to fix your camera so you don't pay attention to what's about to happen because now I'm getting excited.
I'm nervous. I'm terrified. I think Yo and Show's gonna be good. I am very excited to see what the two of them can do together in terms of against each other. I don't recall a time that we've seen that happen before.
Well, they did in the Best of the Super Juniors.
Yes, you're right.
They did, and they also did at Wrestle Grand Slam.
That is correct. But I'm excited to see, nonetheless, what I just like Show a lot.
And they're at 1-1.
Let's break it off, baby.
So I think this will be their best because of that Tokyo Dome flair on it.
Let's do some quick pithy thoughts real quick. Second match.
Couldn't give a shit less.
Rocky Romero, Taguchi, and Tanahashi taking on El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, and Kenta.
Bullet Club.
Okay. Third match, Bushi, Sonata, and Naito taking on Will Ospreay, returning, Great Khan, and also Jeff Cobb, who's returning.
I feel United Empire should probably win.
I agree.
Seeing that they have the guy that is contending for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship the night after.
Contending?
Bushi's in it?
He's the real world's champion. How is he contending for the title he has?
Oh, shut it. Bushi's in this?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Yeah, there you go.
Who is Bushi getting the pin?
Bushi's getting hidden bladed to fucking the second deck.
Very interesting match. Here we go. Here's That's
actually gonna be a good trios match, though. Sorry.
Yeah, it probably will be. Let's start getting into the meat of the conversation. Fourth match, 30-minute limit, special singles match. It's gonna be I forget what the term is, but it's basically a pure
catch wrestling.
I'm calling it a pure rules match because of who I want. But it's not. He's not gonna be there. It's gonna be Katsuya Shibata making his official. I don't want to say official return because if it's not if it's still catch wrestling and not a actual match yet, then I don't.
It's pure rules.
Good point. Shibata against X. We do not know at this time what his opponent is going to be. I'm thinking Ibushi, but there's still that apparently still seems up in the air, but you never know. Do you think it's Ibushi, or do you think it's going to be someone else like a Suzuki or someone else entirely, some sort of American?
It should just be. It's simple. It's very simple. If Ibushi can't do it, you put Suzuki in there because those are two matches that no one's going to complain about. They'll both be really entertaining. They could both be great depending on how much they actually. I mean, no strikes is fun. They could have done chops. Yeah. They didn't have they don't have to punch each other in the head, but they could have done chops. And I think I wouldn't be shocked if you saw someone toss a chop. But I'm excited. I know it's not full return because there's no strikes, but pure rules is better than nothing.
No rules? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I almost said that. I was like, oh, that's an actual match. And it's not 5 minutes. It's not getting strangle held. We're not in this situation where we're like, oh, well, it's going to end in 2 seconds. No, they can go as long as they want. I don't know how long, probably 10 minutes or so. But Ibushi would be great.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to see him not kick anyone. But
But we know he can do that sort of style.
Yeah. And I am rooting for Suzuki as well. I think that would be really good too.
I think worst case scenario, it's a young lion of some kind. Like,
they could bring in Ren Narita. That'd be,
or
actually no, they can't. He's fighting Josh Barnett on like the New Beginning show. And
what if it's what about Carl Fredericks?
Please don't.
Yeah, but he's a guy that was supposed to come over here 2 years ago and start his quote unquote push. So maybe you bring in Carl Fredericks and then
but Shibata versus Ren Narita would be cooler.
Yeah, I know. Fifth match, never championship match. Tomohiro Ishii defending his title for the first time against Evil House of Torture, baby. That looks so strange. Is that your pick for the win? Is Evil?
That was no. I could hear like the sadness when you got to this match, because I was talking to someone about it and I was like, you know, if Evil wrestled the way he can, this would be a wonderful big meaty men slapping meats type of affair. But that ain't happening. That's not happening. No. We're gonna, you're gonna get the House of Torture bullshit. And we're gonna get very little of big meaty men slapping meats. And that's a shame. I think this is Ishii's first defense. First ever Wrestle Kingdom
singles match.
Apparently. No way.
Apparently,
no way.
That's what the streets told me. I can look into it.
No, I don't believe that.
I'll look into it.
The match, it still can be good with the House of Torture bullshit as long as they keep it to a very, 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 very very limited amount, but that's not gonna happen, and that's fine. I guess I'll get over it, because I don't mind the House of Torture stuff as much as other people. Oh my god, it is his first singles. Wait, no, it's not.
What?
He wrestled Togi Makabe at Wrestle Kingdom 9 for the Never Open Weight, and then he wrestled Shibata at Wrestle Kingdom 10 for the Never Open Weight.
Did the internet lie to me? Is that what you're saying?
And he also wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Kingdom 13 for the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight title.
That's true. The internet lied to me.
Yeah, they straight up lied to you, man.
Damn.
But it is sad that Ishii's match last year, all he did was he was in the Rambo.
Yeah.
That's all he did. That's kind of sad. And I'm not even that big of an Ishii fan. That's really sad. Yeah, Ishii wins because he should.
Do you want a quick Meltzer star rating discussion?
Oh, on this one?
No. Ready? Meltzer's star ratings have come in. Nakano versus Saya Kamatani, 4.25. Shuri versus Utami, 4.5.
Interesting.
I believe he gave the last one 5.
5.5.
5.5. So we went a whole star down.
Interesting. Anyways, moving on.
People giving me gruff that how do you know the second Utami Shuri match is gonna be a match of the year contender? Why are you voting so early and doing nominations? Turns out the match wasn't as good as the first one. Haha. I'm in the clear, folks.
Anyways,
IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. It's going to be the champions, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, defending their titles against the World Tag League winners, Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto.
Listen, this is when the card gets juicy. This is when the card gets juicy, Ryan. This is when we get excited.
This is when the card puts on a pair of sweatpants that have the words juicy on the bottom.
Yeah, they get juicy and they start dancing a little bit, and they start getting amped. They start vibing. They start getting in their mood. They get in the swing of things. This is the match that starts it all. Dangerous Techers, great tag team. Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, great tag team. Let's hear one for the boys. Goto and Yoshihashi picking up that dub.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I don't think
because what else are we supposed to do with the tag division besides change the titles off of Dangerous Tekkers just to give them back in a couple months? Yeah, you hate how right I am. You hate how right I am.
I don't think they're gonna win. I think it's gonna be.
Oh, you're just.
But it is. It's World
the
Tag
boys.
League, and World Tag League winners typically win. Yeah, let's do. Let's have Yoshihashi and Goto win just so that there is more. There are more tag teams.
Let's give Big Yosh that big moment. Big Yosh.
Yeah, second title. He's got 2 titles ever.
He deserves this.
Yeah,
he deserves this moment. He had a great year.
Good run. Not breakout star worthy, but good year.
No, not breakout, but good year.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. El Desperado defending his title against the Best of Super Juniors winner, Hiromu Takahashi.
Oh, you want to talk about juicy? These two have said we are determined to have the best match at Wrestle Kingdom. Will they? Probably not. But will they come close? I think so.
I
think their chemistry is just as good as anyone that has a match on this card.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe better than anyone.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what happens on night 2. It depends who wins the main event of this show. Then, because if it's Shingo and Will Ospreay, I can't lie. Because they do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
They have a great heavyweight match and they have a great junior heavyweight match. So, but
the challenge with this match is that Desperado and Hiromu have already had such amazing matches. So their bar is incredibly high. And they have to figure out of enough differences to put on a great match. Would I have liked to have maybe this be Hiromu versus Eagles? Maybe.
I wouldn't have, if you're asking.
I'm just saying. I just like that idea in terms of variety. I think this match is still going to be really, really great. It's just a matter of can they come up with enough differences to be different.
Man, I want Dragon Lee back in New Japan.
Me too. That's what I want.
I miss him.
Why not? We'll just have him move to Japan. Why not? Just force a guy to move to Japan. Why not?
I couldn't do that to him, but you know what I could do is I could get amped for this match because it's going to be great. Hiromu's winning, by the way, because the title's been off of him long enough. They probably have had enough. Yeah, give it to Hiromu. Then you have that story with Sho because he attacked him too.
Yeah,
that could be a match down the line. Yeah,
that would make sense. I think that would make sense. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Shingo Takagi defending his title against Kazuchika Okada. Obviously, this has implications for the second night of Wrestle Kingdom, where the winner of this match will take on Will Ospreay, and the winner of that match will be the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion confirmed. So, will Shingo retain his title, or will the G1 Climax champion Kazuchika Okada win?
For a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people, Wrestle Kingdom main events usually give them their match of the year or one of their matches of the year. I know for Ryan, it gave him last year his match of the year. Night 2, by the way. Kota Ibushi versus Jay White.
Spoilers.
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just joking.
I'm definitely not wrong. But this has that shot. It has that shot. Do we get Rainmaker version of Okada that has been teased that we saw in the G1 a little bit? His match with Jeff Cobb was really good. His match with of course, his match with Tanahashi was good. I mean, it wasn't going to be bad. I'm probably forgetting another match. Maybe he had the weaker block, so it's been saved for this match with Shingo, and I think their Wrestle Dominion, was it Dominion that they fought?
Who, Shingo and Okada?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Is that when Shingo won the title?
Yeah.
So that match was good, but it wasn't as great as I think a lot of us know it can be.
Yeah.
if Okada's Okada, which by all accounts he is again, I think it's going to be great. And I think Okada's winning. I think they want Okada back on top. I don't blame them because after the couple of years they've had, and you want to get New Japan booming again. No offense to Shingo, no offense to Ospreay, but it's Okada. It's always going to be Okada that helps that boom. He is your ace, current ace. We know Hiroshi Tanahashi's the ace, yada yada yada. But it makes sense to me to give the title to Okada because that makes every match he does with the title must see for a lot of people.
I want Shingo to win.
You don't want Shingo to win.
I do want Shingo to win.
Oh, okay, that's fair. No, I would love Shingo to win.
I would prefer Shingo to win. Now, I get the sentiment that Okada is the guy that is the former boom guy that makes sense to put the title on him and everything, right? And this is, to be fair, this is also a devil's argument thing, whatever it's called. Okada, there is no evidence that a Okada being champion will be another boom for New Japan. There's no evidence suggesting that, and I would argue that the reason that we're in this situation now is that because it's COVID and they're not having they have clap crowds and all this stuff. There's no evidence suggesting that New Japan will be fixed with Okada champion. I think New Japan, if COVID wasn't happening, New Japan would have had Ibushi as champion, Shingo as I don't know if Shingo would have been champion.
They did have Ibushi as champion,
but they would have had Ospreay as champion, and they would have had good reigns and all this stuff. I don't necessarily know if Shingo would have been champion. Just not have. Because of all the Ospreay stuff. So there's no real evidence suggesting that Okada's the fix. I'm just
trying to get in the mind of Gato.
I'm trying to get in the mind of Jado. And nobody's getting in the mind of Togo.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get in the mind of Toga.
I just don't like that there's the doing Shingo dirty element of having him lose the title here. I think it looks real nice for Shingo to get this big win over Okada and then go on and face Ospreay, and whether or not he wins, that's fine. Because it could be the Rainmaker element, but I think, this is not the Rainmaker from old. This is the new Rainmaker. He's older. He's maybe wiser, but he is also more injured. Baby. And Shingo and Ospreay are young dogs. Hold on. Young dogs. Not anything else.
Time out.
Yeah.
Okada is younger than Shingo.
How long have they been wrestling? Hold on. Let me
Shingo's like 40. Okada's 34.
Kazuchika Okada is 34 years old, and he has been wrestling for 17 years. Okay, that's actually a really long time. And then Shingo Takagi is 39. Okay, 5 years older. Okay, that's not great for my argument. And is wrestling for 17 years, so they're about the same. Anyway, scratch that. Cut that. Anyways, I just don't like the doing Shingo dirty element here of like he's being the cuck of this situation where he's going to be the odd man out.
The cuck dragon.
I just don't really like it. I'd rather have him beating Okada to have that different argument's sake. Yes, I think Okada has a really good shot of winning this match. It's just, do we need Okada? Is he gonna fix everything? I don't know.
It'll be really shitty for Shingo if he loses. It'll be really shitty for him because like Okada loses, it's like whatever, it's fine. He won the G1. He's Okada. He'll always be important. Yeah. Shingo loses, he goes back to never open weight division. Like that's truthfully how I feel about that. And the Commonwealth cuck pin, Who knows? Maybe they want to put the title back. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll put the title back on him.
I think you gotta have the title in
Japan. But they put the title on him once. They had no problem doing that. They put it on him once.
True.
In COVID, out of nowhere, they just ended Ibushi's reign instantly. So I guess we really never know. Who do I want to win these 2 nights? I want Shingo to win. Who I think will win? I think Okada will win.
That's fair. Moving on to night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom, January 5th, of course, still taking place in the Tokyo Dome. First match of the night is going to be 60-minute time limit IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship 3-way match. Champions Tiger Mask and Arabi Eagles defending their titles against Rocky Romero and Ryusuke Taguchi, and also the team of El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori.
Bullet Club.
4. I like how Taiji Ishimori came to America and had 1 match in GCW. I just think that's very funny to me. Is that this
He had a
guy-
match on Strong too.
Who?
He fought Leo Rush.
Where?
Strong,
what
baby.
promotion? Thoughts? Any thoughts?
I don't really care about this match
Yeah.
at all. I think the Bullet Club team wins because
Didn't
Phantasmo
Taguchi also come to
stays.
America and only wrestle 1 strong?
Yeah, I have no idea what he did.
I'm gonna look that
Probably
up.
did some training sessions mostly, honestly, with the dojo.
Probably. You tell me we couldn't have Taguchi versus Effie. For some reason, I think that'd be a great match.
Moving on.
I don't know why. There's part of me that's like, I think that would actually be a pretty good match.
Come on, Ryan, get to the important match.
No, you're right. The KOPW. No. I skipped the match.
How dare you.
Stardom special match. Starlight Kid and Mayu Iwatani. That's awkward. Versus Saya Kamatani and Tam Nakano. There's respect there, I guess. Special Stardom match here. It's
Do you know
really
how
nice.
this match was made?
Bookers.
No, they picked sticks in the middle of the ring to see who would be involved.
I love it.
And do you know who the one person that got left out was?
Fukigen Death.
Shuri.
That's
Do you know how
fun.
upset they probably were?
I mean, they must have gimmicked it, right? It's wrestling. They must have gimmicked it.
I mean, they literally just picked sticks in the middle of the ring, and she picked the wrong one. Now, she probably knew which one to pick, but it's very weird keeping the World of Stardom champion off the show in a major showcase match, but it's okay.
Yes, I can confirm. Taguchi came to America for Strong, wrestled 2 matches, and then came back to Japan.
So he did a lot of dojo stuff. Got
Yeah,
it.
probably.
Uh,
I don't think there's any real big preview here.
yeah, there is. Saya Kamatani hitting that Phoenix splash in the Tokyo Dome. Boy, that's
The only way we're gonna get a Phoenix Splash in the Tokyo Dome. Probably.
Wow. Harsh. I mean, he should not do it if that in his first match back.
No. I don't think they're gonna allow that in a catch wrestling match.
Especially see he wrecked himself
Mhm.
on it last time.
Do you have any idea who could win this?
Saya Kamatani, Phoenix Splash. I'm not slightly kidding. That's
There.
probably what's gonna happen.
Third match, KOPW 4-way match. I think Toru Yano would be in here. Let's say Chase Owens. Let's say Kota Ibushi. Let's say Suzuki.
What?
Why not? Why not?
No,
Alright,
they're not
fine.
gonna be in the
Do you
Rambo.
think? Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Do you think there is going to be any quote unquote
Good
former
wrestlers? Oh,
any quote unquote former Ring of Honor wrestlers in the rando / in this match?
no.
Really? I think there'll be 1 or 2. I
That's
think
good.
Eli Isom, EC3, Adam Shear.
Shut up. That's so bad.
Do you think any former WWE people show up in the rando?
No.
Not even Adam Shear, the Titan.
Please stop with Adam Shearer. No, I don't.
He showed up at Ring of Honor. He can now show up anywhere.
Great. Awesome.
A little Swervski. Never 6-man tag team match. What? You had something?
Toriano, Bad Luck Fale, Chase, what the fuck's his name?
Chase
Owens?
Parker.
And I don't know. How do we make it worse? Give me a second. Gato.
Togo. Dick Togo.
I was trying to make the matches bad. Hey, Dick Togo's nice.
Never six-man tag team championship match. The champions, Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil, defending their titles against Yo, Yoshihashi, and Goto.
I like the team of Yo, Goto, and Yoshihashi. I almost said Yo twice.
What I don't like about two-night Wrestle Kingdoms is that
two-night Wrestle Kingdom. Me too.
I just don't like the idea of like this match could be like the IWGP Tag Team Champions versus some guys in the never open weight champion, all battling for the never six-man tag. It's just like, I don't want to see all these guys wrestle even more necessarily.
Yeah, that's why there's some people I'm okay with seeing wrestle twice.
Fair.
But yeah.
It's the people that I don't want to see wrestle multiple times that are wrestling multiple times.
Yeah, I don't care who wins. House of Torture.
Yeah, I think it's the first defense. Just have House of Torture win. And especially if Yo's going to win the first match, then maybe like Sho can do something here or something. I don't know. Special singles match, Sonata versus Great-O-Khan.
A random match.
Yeah, pretty random match here.
Sonata.
Special singles match, Naito versus Cobb.
Now this is juicy, okay? This is gonna be good because Naito, great. Cobb,
great.
I
think 2021 was a great year for Jeff Cobb.
I think Cobb should win because that makes him the number one contender for the IWGP World Title in my head because he's got shit with all three.
Yeah,
rematch from last year's never open weight Kingdom match between him and Shingo. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another rematch with Okada makes sense, and then Ospreay wins. So, interesting. And I think Jeff Cobb deserves the win here. I think he's had such a great year, and Naito won't be hurt by a loss.
Yeah, I think one of these four guys, Sonata, Okan, Cobb, and Naito, are sort of.
You know what? Great-O-Khan wins, and then Sonata beats him in New Japan Cup.
Yeah,
that's my switch.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sonata wins the other match, Cobb wins this match, and so it gets sort of that 50-50 nonsense. But also, I think Cobb should get the win. Now that the IC title is gone, I don't think Naito's getting the world title again. I maybe he can challenge for the US title, but I guess we'll see. I still don't know what the US title is. It has not gotten the prestige of a mid card title yet, despite being owned by Tanahashi and this time around Kenta, who is defending it against Tanahashi in a no disqualification match in your next match on the card.
What a weird match. Like no DQ, Tana.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I mean, both of them are willing to go to the US like for strong tapings. We know Kenta lives there.
Mm-hmm. Tanahashi hasn't gone for the US for strong tapings?
Well, he went for to get the title, remember? He beat Lance Archer. I don't remember the show, but he beat Lance Archer.
Oh, yeah. At Resurgence.
Yes. So he went there. He just didn't do tapings.
Yeah.
So clearly he's willing because he said he wanted to go back, but I think Kenta wins here. I don't know why you would keep flip-flopping this title. You've had 4 champions in 5 months.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if you're gonna give prestige, you got to have someone have the long title reign or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Moxley's doesn't count.
No, it barely does.
Unless they want to do Moxley versus Tanahashi finally, which we don't know when Moxley's coming back, but
I suspect
soon.
I suspect it soon. Actually, the streets have told me such that. The streets haven't told me anything. This is not
taking it to the streets.
Yeah, this is a segment we like to call "Taking It to the Streets." Basically, just the suspicion is that this is all an insane superstition. The suspicion is that Brett Lauderdale doesn't want to strip Moxley of the GCW title, and some other stuff that he said. So the suspicion is that he might show up at Hammerstein, and if he shows up at Hammerstein, supposedly he'll be at AEW first.
You would think so, yeah. You would think John Moxley's grand return would be at AEW and not GCW. Yeah, I think so too. Because if it was the other way around, I'd have a real freaking problem, Ryan.
Which would mean that maybe the next challenger for this U.S. heavyweight title match can be Jonathan Mox.
Jonathan Mox. Okay.
Who knows? Last match.
Let's get to the main.
IWGP World Heavyweight Title match. Will Ospreay versus either Okada versus Shingo. I'm saying Shingo. You're saying Okada. Who do you think is going to walk away with the World Heavyweight Title?
Okada.
I think Shingo. No matter what, we believe Will Ospreay's losing this title.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a title, even if he wants to carry one around. Will Ospreay is so interesting. And you know what? This is a good time to get sad together real quick. Remember Jay White? Remember Jay White? I remember Jay White. I miss Jay White. Yeah. I was listening to his interview. Yeah, we're not talking about the main event because it's not whatever. I don't care. It's going to be a great match either way. What I do care about is that Jay White was talking to Chris Van Vliet. Who's great interviewer. They were doing a sit down and he was talking about, his career and how, wrestling's kind of just a job now. It's not as much of, which is fair. I mean, that's how he pays the bills and whatnot. Sure. And he was talking about how he wants to make Strong as good as New Japan traditional. And when he said that, I said to myself, he's not coming back anytime soon.
No.
And this is a guy that last year on this day too, he was the one waiting. And he got Kota Ibushi. And he had that fantastic main event with Kota Ibushi. I rewatched it over the past couple weeks, and it's so good because of the way they just it's amazing. And now, the year that was supposed to be the year of Jay White, gone. That's behind us. And we're here at Wrestle Kingdom 1 year later. He's not on the card. Mm-hmm. And we have no idea when he'll go back to Japan, if he'll ever go back to Japan. So, yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, I think Will Ospreay is going to stay consistently there. He's now the certified top gauging, and it is what it is, but it's just sad.
Yeah, it's frustrating with seeing it happening with Jay White, and who know the hell what's going to happen moving forward. I think Will Ospreay. I like the idea of Will Ospreay losing and going back to the States, and then just staying on Strong.
Mm-hmm. I think he's going everywhere though. Like Ospreay is going to Rev Pro, and he's going to the US, and he's going to Japan. And I think he's going to keep doing that. I don't think he has a problem doing that. Once the Japan, what's it called? The
quarantine.
Yeah, once that goes back down, I think we'll see him again more in New Japan, but this is definitely a one-off for now.
Yeah. I agree.
I just don't know when Jay shows up, if ever. So I just wanted to bring that up before we speed through the January 8th preview and then go to bed.
Yeah. January 8th.
Don't talk the whole card.
How much of Noah have you seen? Or do you watch, I should say?
I watch anything that Nakajima does. Mm-hmm. Go just came back, but he's pretty great.
Yeah.
I watched some Kaiji Muto matches. I'd rather not, but I watched them. Let's just talk like the big 5.
Sure, we'll do the.
Because it's 11.
Yeah, there's no match order yet, so I'll just bounce around to what looks interesting. At least two.
The main event is, or supposedly, the way they announced it was LIJ versus Congo.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. We'll talk about that as well when we do the show on Sunday, the New Year's show sort of thing on Sunday.
Fuck, that's right.
Noah is a promotion that I want to try to watch more of.
Oh, you know what we should, sorry, we're gonna plan on air, people. You know what we should do on that show? Instead of like touching Hard to Kill and meh. We should do like,
unless it's like the show of a year contender.
We should do year-end stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then we should probably do like 2022 like predictions or something. I think that'd be cool.
I like that's what I was thinking also was like 2021 or 2022 resolutions.
Oh, that's perfect. That's what we'll do.
Like resolutions, like what do I no longer want to watch? What do I want to try to watch more?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think when I said predictions, I meant kind of like, yeah, okay, that works. We'll do 20. Yeah, we're not previewing Takeover, Evil, whatever the fuck it's called.
But AJ Styles will be there.
Yeah, I mean, Braun Breaker's probably winning the title, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that's true. Bouncing around real quick.
You want a friend? Get a dog.
Doki and El Desperado versus Nasawa Rangai and Yohei. That just looks
that's a match.
That just looks like
that's
a
match.
I just am excited about that match because of the sleaze.
Yeah, the sleaze is going to be good.
Sleaze is an all-time high there.
A lot of people were let down by this card, and I understand, like, you want singles match or whatever. But
what were they expecting?
Yeah, I was like, one. The idea of doing Shingo versus Nakajima was an absurd take.
Yeah.
It's like they're both the champions, unless you want a 60-minute draw.
Yeah. Well, well, that would have been good.
That would have been pretty fucking good, actually. Should have done that.
Yeah.
But I think they should have done one singles match. I don't think that would have been bad.
Well, the one singles match we got two single matches, and there's Young Lions, and then we also have Sho versus Tsuji Kotoge. I don't know.
Oh, I got one thing to bring up real quick.
Yeah.
About this show. Oh no, but Noah actually has a great show coming out tomorrow. Ooh. It's Nakajima versus Go Shiozaki for the GHC heavyweight title. And it's also Kino versus Kaito Kitamiya for the GHC national championship. So that's actually like, that's nice. That's a nice show.
Noah and Dragon Gate are like promotions I've like circled interest into, and Noah.
Yeah, Dragon Gate's my big one for 2022.
Yeah. Another match, kind of also a sleaze thing, but also a very obvious who's gonna get pinned here. Yoshinari Ogawa and now Michi Marufuji versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Guess who's gonna get pinned in that one?
I like that match a lot, though.
I do too. I just like pointing out who do you think is getting pinned in this match? It's 100% Marufuji pinning Kanemaru. That's my guess.
Are you talking shit about Kanemaru?
He's still gonna be drunk going into this match.
Yeah, that's fair. That would be great. That
would be a fun bit in the New Japan Rambo. Is both Kanemaru and Yano are still drunk.
I love if they got with the Rambo. No, I keep forgetting it's the KOPW thing. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Backtrack. Marufuji definitely is winning that.
I think if they were going to have any singles match, it should have been Marufuji versus somebody. I think.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
I think that's like enough of a New Japan should have let something happen there because of past stuff.
Yeah, and Marufuji could beat like Zack Sabre Jr., for example. No one would bat an eye.
Yeah. 6-man tag team match: Taka Michinoku, Minoru Suzuki, and Taichi versus Takeshi Sugura, Kazushi Sakuraba, and Kenta.
This match is Suzuki-gun versus Segura-gun. That is the basis of it. And Kenta being on the Noah side is pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think this would be Taka Michinoku just getting tossed into this is so wild.
He's going to get pinned hard.
Yep. I think Kenta probably pins someone on the other side. I can see Noah being like, we get to win. So yeah, sure.
Yeah. Segura, I love Segura.
He's so good.
He's really, really good. I really enjoyed him. I watched a bunch of his stuff when he was in the G1 Climax several years ago. He was really, really good in that. Tag team match. Another guess who's getting pinned here. Kitamiya, Go Shiozaki versus Evil and Dick Togo.
They have Go Shiozaki, who's great, right?
Yeah.
Great. And they put him against Evil and Dick Togo.
Yeah.
Dick Togo's getting pinned by Go Shiozaki.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on here that I'm like, oh yeah, this. Well, maybe not this next match.
Yeah, is this the one?
Maybe. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada versus Kiyomiya and Muto.
I mean, this is hype. This is hype. It's gonna be like, Muto's so not good, but he's like, it's like a car crash that you want to look away but you can't, and he's gonna hit so many shining wizards. It's gonna be stupid. Okada and Tanahashi are not losing.
My 2020 moment of the year is Kano fire kicking Muto in the stomach and then, losing the match.
That's like one of the one Noah matches you watched this year.
It's just stuck. It's such, the image is so ingrained in my noodle.
It's because you read Muda and you're like, I gotta do it.
No, I heard about the fire kicking and I was like, whoa, that looks cool. And then I saw Kano losing. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's Muta.
I watched a lot of random Noah matches this year. I watched a lot of the Kano run versus a bunch of the random Kendo Cash-in people.
That's the Mendo. That's the Muta magic. He's gonna do the thing that he likes to do. That
10-man tag match: Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Sonata, Naito, and Shingo versus, bear with me, Aleha, Tadasuke, Manabu Soya, Kano, and Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Juicy.
Do you think we get a moment with Shingo and Nakajima face to face fighting each other?
Guaranteed. That I think that's a lot of the basis. Will they both be champion going into the match? Will neither be champion going into the match? Very possible that both scenarios happen.
I like the idea of seeing Hiromu Takahashi against Nakajima.
He's gonna chop, and then Nakajima's gonna kick him, and great.
Yeah.
And then there's the Naito part that we're not talking about. Naito and Kino just seems like a wild mix as well.
Do you think Kano is lighting his leg on fire?
Not a chance.
Why not? If you can do it, why not always do it? You know?
Because the Great Muta is not there. So,
was he facing the Great Muta, or was it Muto?
That's a great question.
If it was just Keiji Muto, I'm gonna laugh harder.
I'm gonna check while you do whatever you have to do.
Well, what I'm gonna do is close out the show.
That's what I meant. I'm tired.
It's a long ass episode. Thank you everybody for listening to this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. This bonus episode for you. Hope you appreciate this bonus episode as we preview and review all this stuff. And we'll be back this Sunday, year-end awards for the Count Out Network. So I'm going to say as well, and voting ends midnight tomorrow, Saturday. So please, please, please get your votes in. There's a link in the podcast description. So get your votes in. You can fill out that Google form. It was Muda? Well, thank God, I guess.
He's so old. He's 59.
Yeah, he's an old man. Get your votes in today for the year-end awards. We're revealing the results of that on Sunday. I can tell you this much. I can tell you this much, Scotty, that there's a couple. There's still a lot of ties.
Do we get any runaways?
I think there's a couple runaways. There was early on. There was a big runaways, and then the gap has been closed down a lot. The problem is that like the gap is getting closed down, but it's typically like the second place person gets a lot of first place votes, and then like the person who gets whoever they vote for like second or third is like already first place. So like first place is always getting voted and adding up, but then it's all about closing that gap. There's a couple runaways. I think the biggest runaway is promotion of the year. I don't think that's too surprising to people.
It's not.
But to me,
man, trying to pick the third choice there was very difficult for me.
That's fair. I think there's a couple runaways and stuff, but I think overall that There's some interesting stuff in here. The more interesting stuff to me is like second and third place. And there's still a couple ties. So please vote the year-end awards for Countout Network. And you can, again, there'll be a link in the podcast description, or you can always go to countoutpod.com. There's a little banner there at the top where you can vote today. So go do that right now. Also, subscribe to the podcast. We'll be back this Sunday, so make sure to subscribe so you can get that Sunday episode in the feed. We stream the show live, typically every Sunday on twitch.tv/countout, along on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me at Ryan Neitzey. You can follow Scotty at Scott E Wrestling. Scotty does a bunch of stuff online.
Excuse me, Ryan.
What?
What's your match of the week?
Oh yeah, sorry, sir. I it's not Sunday, so I forgot. Well, let me look that up real quick. What was your match of the week?
So Tommy and Shuri, whatever. Yeah, you get it. But I have a fun match of the week since I was going to be very unoriginal with my normal match of the week. Okay,
your typical match.
Yeah, my not so creative. Okay, so at DDT, never mind, right? There was this great tag team match. It was Kazusada Higuchi, Saki Akai, and Yukio Sakaguchi versus, ready for this?
I'm ready.
Chris Brooks, Maki Ito, and Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun.
That looked like a lot of fun. It looked like Suzuki was having a lot of fun in that match.
He was having a blast. He absolutely wrecked Maki one time. Yes, they were on the same team. It was a lot of fun, and I think I just really wanted to put that match out there because I was always going to say Shuri versus Utami, but I wanted to give something that wasn't so typical of me. And yeah, you can follow me at Scotty Wrestling, like he said.
My match of the week. Obviously, Shuri, Shishida, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this match, and I think it was a match you didn't like that much for it to be a match of the week. It was Daniel Garcia, Matt Lee, and Jeff Parker versus Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz at AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, I didn't love that.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. I really enjoyed the finish, which was so out of nowhere that it caught me by surprise. I really enjoyed the match.
Garcia won, right?
I believe it was Matt Lee pinned Kingston, maybe like
Santana.
It was like out of nowhere, just like it didn't feel like the match was anywhere close to being done. It was just like, whoa, okay. Well,
I'm happy 2.0 is winning a little bit.
Me too. I'm glad that they're getting the wins in there. You got to.
They shouldn't be like, the guys that let's have them feud with someone, to get them together, and then they lose every time. Now Jericho's back, so that's sad.
Yeah, that saddens me. Let's do Dana Garcia and 2.0 versus Undisputed Era. Or as someone pointed out on Twitter, the Paragon.
Oh yeah, Danny G versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Just get Danny G in there against everybody. Do a
no part of me actually wants to see Danny G versus Chris Jericho. Thank you for asking.
Well, I guess it will happen at some point. I think that's to me, that's like a match Chris Jericho wants to do, and he's like, "Oh, this kid's getting a bunch of clout. I'll work with him."
I want that Bryan Danielson faction.
Yeah, baby. Nothing's gonna stop me. All right,
let's end the show. Goodbye.
Let's end the show.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. We'll see you back on Sunday as I'm
see you next year.
As I'm recovering from day one. Bye, everybody.